lies was just
bullshit. What's the difference?
Wasn't lies, was
just bullshit. The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit. The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit. The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit. The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit.
Who said liar? I said bullshit artist. And what's the difference? Because I don't lie.
Yo, and hello. Welcome to No Lies, Just Bullshit. I'm your host, Nick Swartz, and you're listening to the number one tattoo podcast in the universe. Okay? Undisputed. King of all tattoo podcasts. Yo, welcome. This is your first time. Glad to have you. If you're a regular listener, even more glad to have you. Love everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's a hot summer out here, y'all. Lots of fucking rain, lots of humidity, but we're going to make it. Before we get into this week's episode, as always, you know what's up, AllianceTattooSupply.com. Head over to AllianceTattooSupply.com and just go and grab some lineage needles. Go and grab a power supply. They got thermofax, like the new style thermofaxes. They got rotaries and direct drives and fucking pigment and you name it, man. They got it. They got thermofax paper. They got drapes for your table. Whatever you need to run your joint. Alley Cat Tattoo supports them. They support us. It's been a great relationship. My crew gets deliveries, seems like every fucking week. If you're on the fence or you're not happy with your supplier or you just want to support a great company with great people, then check them out, man. AllianceTattooSupply.com. They're doing good. I feel like I know they're expanding. They're getting into a bigger building. I'm sure that means they're going to be able to offer you guys more stuff. So be sure and check them out at AllianceTattooSupply.com. Pagoda is on the horizon. That's coming up real soon. We're shutting down Alley Cat Tattoo. I'm bringing the whole crew. Jake is going to be tattooing. Porter's going to be tattooing. Going to have a couple of ladies running the booth. But the whole crew is going to be there, and we're real excited about it. And it's not just, it's the 10th year. It's the last year. Parties are going to be epic. The karaoke is going to be epic. I know Weatherholt's going to bring the ruckus. But, Lehigh's working it this year. Juan Puente's working it this year. Chris Kahn is coming out this year. There's a Frazetta like art installation. The Frazetta Museum, I think, is a little over an hour, maybe an hour away from the venue, but they're going to bring their stuff down and present some originals and stuff. And there's going to be a second art show that displays all of the posters and shirt designs and everything from all the years of Pagoda. It's going to be an ill show. If you're in driving distance, get on it, make plans, clear your schedule, bring your ass. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing folks there. Hit me up, holler at me if you know the show. But we're not acquainted. Don't be afraid to buy me a beer. But I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, man. One of the reasons that I love it so much is because we roll deep at that show. It's Alley Cat Tattoo. We run with the Kings Ave crew while we're there. We run with Jesse Struthers. We run with Jay Smalley. We run with a bunch of homies, Glenn from down South Carolina. We run with Chesco and Wilson, Inksmith and Rogers crew. It's like a mob of just homies, and it's so much fun. So hope to see you guys there. And then of course in November we've got the Norfolk Tattoo Expo coming up, put together by my man JD Crow, and that's going to be another heater. Lots of names, and as we get closer, I'll start filling you in on more and more of that. But I recommend you be there as well. Just Google Norfolk Tattoo Expo or check out Norfolk Tattoo Expo on Instagram, and you can get all the details on that. Another thing, I guess it's worth mentioning is the Alley Cat Tattoo's looking to hire. You got to be a killer. You got to be able to bring the ruckus. But if you think you might be that guy or gal, holler at me at Pagoda. I'll be around. Something I've been trying to, it's not time yet, but it's approaching time to start talking about Alley Cat's 25th anniversary. It's going to be September 1st of 2026. And I'm ready, y'all. I'm ready to throw a party. I'm ready to do something big. I'm ready to have some action, some homies in the building. And so just stay tuned. Just keep listening to No Lies Just Bullshit, and you'll get all the deets on that. Also, please do me a favor and go over to No Lies Just BS on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Watch the Chronicles, watch the cooking videos, which I'm coming with a new, probably this fall I'm shooting like 10 new episodes at least. But, and we're putting podcasts up as well, but it's just no visual. But, the Shop Talk series is killing them. Me and Connor and Andrew Connor and Chris Porter, and it's killing them. So lots of amazing tattooers and amazing tattoos we'll bring to you, and we discuss them and what makes them great. We're not here to critique anybody. We're here to just talk about, the love of the game, love of tattoos, and tattooers who are bringing it. So please go over there and support us by, we've given away all these free podcasts for, I think I put the first one out October 2016. So, we've been doing this. So do me a favor and show some support and show some love by going to the No Lies Just BS YouTube page and subscribing and tell your friends. Please share it on whatever you share it on. All right, here we are. Episode 379, 400 coming down the barrel, and this is actually a redo. This is the only, so there's two episodes. One is the Civilization one that cannot air because the boys got rowdy, and there's the other one that I screwed up and I erased the episode, and it was Capella's episode. Dave Capella from Inksmith and Rogers, also of Legacy Irons. It was his episode, and he came to the old Alley Cat. It's the only, we found out this last time he was here, it's the only episode that Kate from Alley Cat, who's a piercer and a cosmetic tattooer, it's the only episode she's ever participated in. She's shy, and I begged her a million times she doesn't want to do it. But that day, for some reason, she was feeling generous, and she sat down and had some drinks with us and talked. But, I think, I know Jake and Richie sat in some. I know Andrew Connor sat in some. I'm pretty sure Sarah sat in a little bit. But yeah, it was a rowdy, fun episode, and I just deleted the damn thing, and it's been years now, and it's the only time I've ever made that mistake, knock on wood. And so Capella came to do a guest spot, and I didn't tell him, we're going to redo. I just waited till the night he got here and just sprung it on him at the end of the day. And he and myself and Porter sat down. And Porter did about an hour and a half, and I think me capped did another hour and a half, something like that. But it's the Capella redo, and it's fucking fun. And, I think you guys are going to dig it. So here it is, episode 379. Dave Capella, No Lies, Just Bullshit.
Take me to your darkest room. Close every window, bolt every door. The very first moment I heard your voice, I'd be in darkness no more. Take me to your most barren desert, 1,000 miles from the nearest sea. The very first moment I saw your smile, it would be like heaven to me.
If an eagle can't close its mouth, like that's the most aggressive, pissed off eagle ever.
Right. Unless it's on a Harley Davidson shirt.
Man, I rocked so much Harley Davidson gear as a little kid.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. I had like a denim jacket with a Harley Davidson eagle and the shield on the back. I had a fucking corduroy hat with the fucking logo on the top. No eagle, but just the, what's it called? The
Crest? No, the
shield.
Shield.
Bar and shield.
Yeah, shield. Yeah.
Yeah. I had that. I had a bunch of t-shirts, bro.
My pappy was a huge like motorcycle guy, but he was mostly
nobody around me rode motorcycle.
So you just had
the
the
white trash thing. It's like we were just trash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like my mom, I always remember her wearing one of two sweatshirts, and it was a Rolling Stone sweatshirt and a Harley Davidson sweatshirt, But my pappy had a bunch of motorcycles, and he passed recently, and it was funny. My mom was like, "What do you want?" He had a fucking clock in the guest room, and it went off every 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. But it was a bunch of different type of Harleys from the years.
Oh, cool.
And he had somehow mounted it with like horns from a deer, or a bunch of different stuff. But apparently nobody wanted it, and I was just like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Like that, because I remember it'd be like midnight. As a kid, you're like. You stay up later than all the old people in the house, and then at 12 o'clock you hear like a fucking Sportster starting up. It's just so stupid. But yeah, I was like, I want that, and I want his guitars. But apparently they all got. So
yeah, well, it happens.
yeah, so it is what it is.
I definitely feel like I got the cool shit from my like family members that passed. Like I feel like the stuff that I ended up getting was like the stuff that like who would want that? Like me,
Right?
fucking me, man.
Yeah.
I got, like when my granddad died, there was 3 pistols, and I got all 3 of them. Like none of my cousins wanted anything.
That's cool.
What?
Just the one of the pistols that you have. I love that thing. I just think it's once in your drawer.
No, yeah.
I just think it's just so it's 357, right?
No,
Or is it 38?
38, yeah.
I just think it's so cool because it's like I have a limited experience with revolvers, but every revolver I've ever held is just there's a ton of extra metal to it, and those are like there's no extra metal to it. It's I guess what you would consider a compact but with a longer
It's a
barrel.
police issue from 1908.
Yeah,
That's it.
like there's not like a whole lot like, but like
It was my great-granddad.
That's cool.
like if you look down the barrel of like some 357s and 38s that they make today, there's like the barrel and then all this extra shit around
Right.
it, and I guess it's to make it heavier to
Yeah.
make it shoot
So
smoother.
then fucking fly in your hand.
Yeah, but I just think like I mean I went through a thing where like every day I had to talk myself out of buying the snub nose that Ray Liotta uses to beat that dude in Goodfella.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted one, but the problem was I couldn't find one that was in such bad condition it could constitute wrapping the handle in like electrical tape or
Fuck,
whatever.
you could just do it anyways.
Yeah, but every one I found was like from that era.
Right,
Like
right.
It wasn't wrapped like that. Wasn't it?
I thought it was.
No, I don't think it was.
Oh, fuck
I
it.
thought it was like
But
just
it was
a tosser.
definitely like a thinner handle, almost identical to the handle on that.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I think it's a Smith and Wesson Model 32.
That's what that is with the Wesson.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was a Colt Detective, and when I looked it up, I found out what it was, and I was like, "That's all I want." And the only difference was, I think it was like chrome. And I wanted it black, but it doesn't matter. Like
What's great about that fucking Snubnose 38 though, or 357, you can get it in 357, which is a little bit much, you ask me. But what's great about it is you can have that motherfucker in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like it's so little, so short that it can be in your pocket and you can point it at a motherfucker. You can never show it to him. Even in your hoodie, you put it in your hoodie, and you can be like, yo, and
Yeah, like they make those hammerless ones too, which are like
that's the thing.
that one's like cool. That was what my Mimi used to carry around. But dude, did you ever used to watch the Johnny Cash show?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the live performance of Hank Jr. playing, and then he gives Johnny Cash his daddy's fucking revolver?
Oh wow.
You watch Johnny Cash like fumble and almost drop his guitar to grab it, and then he does like some gunslinger shit and like points at the TV, and then it goes to commercial break. I was like, yo, like that's the coolest shit ever, you know?
The Country Music Hall of Fame, they had 3 Hanks like display.
Right.
You know, it wasn't a permanent thing. There was always that Hank Williams exhibit, and there's always a junior exhibit. But at the time, they had all 3, and you could tell like that Hank Sr. got money at some point because they had pistols and they had all these leather carved holsters and fucking leather. Basically anything you could get in leather, he had made in leather. You know, and everything. And,
draped if it was socially acceptable.
So you guys
it'd be
want
draped in leather.
Y'all want leather koozies or
just like but it was all just, none of it was worn.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can tell like he got that shit and then he's dead.
Oh god.
He got some bread and it was
I thought you just meant like he got 30 of them in different colors and just
It wasn't like that. But the only thing that was kind of worn was like a leather like satchel kind of thing. They kept the songbooks in. It had plenty of wear on it.
Since I just thought about it, I think I saw somewhere that Shooter Jennings just discovered a full album's worth of music from his dad.
Oh, they released it on Father's Day, one of the singles.
Songbird.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It was. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but I was like watching something on it recently, and I'm like, to be in 2025 and get some more Jennings is fucking sick, you know. And then like I saw recently, what is it? Johnny Cash's like grandson is like singing some of his like unreleased stuff too, or some shit like that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And you know, when I listen to some Johnny Cash like deep cuts,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, why do I listen to anything else? And You know, a lot of people think that they know Johnny Cash.
Right.
Like I've had this conversation with Keith Harper a handful of times, and he's just like, it's commercial, he's this, he's that.
No.
It's like, yeah, you know 5 of the songs. You know, no disrespect to Keith, but man, Johnny Cash.
Well, like he had that Western record that I got obsessed with. Back, I used to work at the mall back in the day, and in front of the place that I worked at one time, there was people that set up a kiosk, and it was just a bunch of old records. So like I bought like Metallica's Ride the Lightning, Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark, like a bunch of heavy metal stuff, and then he had a small country section, and I saw that there was like a Western Johnny Cash CD. I'd never seen it before. I picked it up, and dude, like straight up to this day, the Ballad of Boot Hill is one of the best Johnny Cash songs ever. And then Don't Take Your Guns to Town, Son.
Yep, that's a great song.
What the fuck? Like, and like I would listen to that on the way to work, and it was like it didn't sound like a country. It like legitimately puts you like into the ballad. You know, like it's so good.
He's got a song called Streets of Laredo. That
Yes.
Dude, I listened to that the other day, and there's a bell in it. I think it's a bell or something that just goes, doon, like when the chorus starts. And every time I hear that, like I'm good until I hear that. And he says, you know, have like 10 lovely maidens, and like he describes what he wants, and you're just, oh God.
Cover my casket in roses to dead
down to the clods.
Yeah.
As they fall.
Dude,
heavy.
Towards the end of the kids' school year, I would start playing Folsom Prison Blues on the way to school, and it was that 21 minutes to go because I was dropping them off, and I just thought that it was funny. Like my oldest nobody got it, but I'm sitting there just cackling. I'm like, yeah, y'all don't even get that I'm like dropping y'all off at your own prison right now. Like,
me and Andrew were on the road many years ago. I was selling jewelry, he was selling paintings, some flash and stuff, and we were in Winston-Salem, and we got a room, and I parked. I had a fairly new Ford Focus. It was. I guess the car was a 2000. It was probably 2000 when we were doing this. Maybe 2001.
You're balling, dude.
The story of you getting that car was like you were like, all right, this is what I'm doing. You sold everything you had, or got rid of everything you had, and got that.
Well,
got the dough to get it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, nobody ever fucking. Back in the day, that's gonna sound like I'm trying to fucking. Nobody fucking helped me or believed I could do anything.
Right.
Back in the day. So, like, my parents would not co-sign for me despite my credit. My grandparents had lent me some money one time and I paid it back, but they wouldn't co-sign for it. So I ended up getting that motherfucking car at like fucking 18.5% interest because I had no other way to do it. But I just wanted to look everybody in the face and say, fuck you. I'm going to figure this out, you know? Because a job was in Roanoke and I was in Clifton Forge and I needed to be able to get to that fucking job.
Right.
And that's how I got into the business, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so there's nothing that stopped me, but no one would fucking help me. Nobody. And so it's like, fortunately, I just had to be like, you know what, I'm going to figure this shit out. So anyway, I got this car and me and Andy got on the road and it's a new car. I never had anything nice in my life.
Sure.
So I parked it far away from everybody.
Right.
At this hotel in Winston-Salem. And somebody in the night hit the motherfucker.
Oh, man.
And it wasn't like smashed all the pieces. But it was the front quarter panel and the dent was about this big and it was pretty fucking deep. It looked like someone either hit it with something, with a bat or something,
right,
or like stomped it. There was no scraping, no metal, no paint, nothing. Just it was pushed in. And I come out that motherfucker, bro, and I saw that fucking thing, and I got fucking furious, bro.
That sucks, dude.
And then, like the night before, I'd been like talking about there's a Bojangles across the street. We eat fucking Bojangles when we got Bojangles back home. Fucking chicken, fucking biscuit, da da da. He's like, oh man, they'll be alright. Don't worry about that car. Let's go to Bojangles. Now we go to Bojangles, and he gets like some hash browns and a coffee, and I'm just sitting there. Not eating.
Fucking pissed.
Fucking pissed, bro.
Damn.
So we go to the next town or wherever. I'm pretty sure we hit Greensboro, then Winston-Salem, and on 40 maybe, and over into Tennessee.
Right.
I think that's what we did, like just over the mountains and shit.
Sure.
And we get to whatever the next town was, and I started walking to the tattoo shop, and he's like, "Hey, I want to go down here to see this record store down here." And I was like, "Don't you try to make some money?" He's like, "I want to go look for something." And I went, And I think I sold like $250 worth of stuff, which is not much. I'm trying to sell $1,000 every stop.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I get back and he's leaning against the car smoking a cigarette. And I was like, "You gonna go in?" He's like, "No, I'm good." And we get in the car and he hands me Johnny Cash sing Hank Williams.
Oh shit.
CD.
Yeah.
We had Me and Cat on it. Had a bunch of great fucking songs.
Right.
Me and Cat's a great fucking
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
But man, I just, it cheered me up to no end.
It got you out of the car.
Because I was such a huge Hank Williams fan.
Right.
I mean, huge Hank Williams fan. And I like Johnny Cash, but I hadn't dug deep yet.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and it was also, I was so young that I didn't really, my friends and I we didn't treat each other that way. We didn't buy each other birthday presents. We didn't do, like, maybe a 40.
Sure.
Maybe a 40,
Yeah.
maybe.
Pack of Newports and a 40.
But he was like, yo, man, he wanted me to feel better. And so
He was trying to take care of you. That's
exactly.
very sweet.
He wanted me to feel better, and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
I still have the CD.
That's awesome.
And you know, the cover was like black and gray with some yellow, and I just never forget it. It's fucking great.
Long time ago when I was working in Greensboro, it was when I did that benefit for Nate. The car that I had at the time was a brand new Nissan Versa. It was entry level. It had maybe 5,000 miles on it. I bought it fresh off the lot before I moved to Greensboro. It's a 5-speed. It was the coolest car I ever had. Best gas mileage I ever had. And it was right after I'd got done selling all the paintings and getting them off the wall, and I put them in my trunk. And I parked out in front on the road, because that's where I always parked. And my wife parked in the driveway because she would have to get up early in the morning to go to work. And we're sitting there and we hear this loud thud, and we thought it was like a tree falling or like one of the kids jumping, because we had a basement. So like whenever somebody would jump off of a chair, off the couch or whatever, it'd make a really loud thud. But it was like, we both looked at each other, and I went and looked outside. I was like, I didn't park in the grass. And I went outside, and my fucking bumper and my fucking front end is just destroyed in like pieces, like everywhere. And it put whoever hit me straight on and hit my car into the grass and took everything off and then drove away. Don't know how they did that, but my first thing that I did, I said, the fucking paintings. Yeah. And I ran to my fucking trunk and popped it, and they were all fine. I was like, as long as that's good, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I got to sell these or I got to send these out, because I had just done that auction for Nate, and I was just like, I was like, don't tell me that fucking like, you know, roughly 10 grand of fucking paintings that just got destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, but I was so bummed. But yeah, I remember that was like the first car I'd ever bought, ever put my name on or anything, and it got totaled right in front of my house. Yeah. It was so. But I remember sitting there on the front porch. My wife like left me alone, and while they towed it away, because I was just sitting there, just like creased up, just like smoking a cigarette, just watching it get pulled away, because they never found out who did it.
Of course.
But honestly, like, whatever, the paintings ended up going out, so it ended up working out. So that's all that mattered in that moment.
You all were talking about, both of you were talking about how Johnny Cash got more than 5 songs, and Nick heard this guy. We used to be the bar we worked at. There was this fellow that would come every week and do covers. His name was Jimmy O. Mm-hmm. Jimmy O talked and sang just like Johnny Cash. Like, he tried not to, because people were just like, Folsom City Blues, Ring of Fire, you know, like, and he would just, you know, he was like and he was a human jukebox.
Right.
He could do anything.
Like a rockabilly guy?
He looked rockabilly, but he.
I mean, Johnny O, you got to be a rockabilly.
Jimmy O.
Oh, Jimmy, even still. If there's O at the end of your name, like.
But he was a jukebox.
Right.
And I think I've told this story on here before, but one of my favorite nights was when he plays the same sets all over the valley. Mm-hmm. And like all the way to like Waynesboro, Charlottesville, on the other side, and then, you know, up north and down south. And so there's just one night he comes in, and there are other things that happen, but the best part was he did a set check, like a sound check, where he would do this medley, and it was like all these songs, and it included Ring of Fire, or Lake of Fire, and Folsom City Blues, Folsom Prison Blues.
Right.
And he was up there, and somebody was like, Johnny Cash. And he was like, all right. And he started playing something. And she goes, no. You know, like, play this song. Like one of those two songs. And he stops and he goes, and in a Johnny Cash voice and angry, like you could just, like, anger just flew out of the speakers. Like, you know, he had more than those two songs. As a matter of fact, he has a huge catalog of music. Let me play one from it. Like, he was pissed.
Yeah.
And everybody sat like this.
You know, Jimmy was a great guy, and he was really great for knowing everybody's name, addressing everybody.
Yeah.
So, like, he would come in, what's up? I'm working the door, Porter's behind the bar or kitchen, depending on the day, and he would directly, hey, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Porter, how you doing, man? And he knew Porter for years. And I think y'all, I say work together because he worked in
Yeah.
But I think you all worked together long enough to where it was like kind of earlier on, and he would like take shots with y'all and stuff. By the time I came around, he wasn't drinking much. Or
I think he was just over what he was doing. He was over doing that job.
But in other words, you knew him better than I did.
Yeah.
But man, he was good at that. But he you know, if the crowd sucked and he started getting fucking pissy, man, he couldn't hide it.
He start ripping on the crowd.
He one time. So there's Sweet Caroline. The two songs, Sweet Caroline and what's the Margaritaville. So Sweet Caroline, there's that horn blast goes ba 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 da or whatever it is, and everybody would sing it, and he just stopped. He goes, "It's not required that you do that. Those are the horns. I don't have a horn section. You don't need to do that." And then continue the song, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!"
And they're just trying to have fun, like drunken assholes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just you could like sports that he just done to me that.
Right.
And then Margaritaville, he goes, looking for my lost shaker of salt. And everybody goes, salt. And he stopped. And I mean, when I say stops, he like, and makes a loud noise with the guitar. He goes, why do you do that? They don't do it in the song. And he just yells at him. He's so angry about it. And everybody's just like, oh, well,
That's so good.
where's our server at?
It reminds me of Alan Coe, where on You Don't Even Call Me By My Name.
Yeah.
You ever go into like a country bar when he goes, you'll hear the people doing let me.
Yeah.
Like
Never heard that.
You never heard that?
No.
They do.
Yeah, there's like a little there's like an extra part that like all these people that participate know.
Well, the Hank Jr. song, Hank, why do you drink? And everyone's to get drunk. Hank, why do you roll smoke to get stoned?
Yeah, that's like part of it.
Sure, but what's the let me?
It's part of the chorus. Like I'm spacing the lyrics right now, but
You never call me by.
yeah, but it's like the me and Bobby at the Beach Boulevard. When we always put on the country classics, and him and I both every single time will do it, and like to the point where like the customers, because we'll be dead quiet, and then that part will come on and we sing it, and everyone just like looks around the corner like, what the fuck, like
Yeah.
but yeah, but
I don't know why they put that part in there.
it's probably like a live
I've
performance.
never heard do it.
Right, yeah. But honestly, dude, me and my wife,
You never let me. You never let me. Dun, dun, dun.
let me. It's so funny. But the when you
I just like to think that at some point in his career, Dave Allan Coe went, God damn it, you don't need to sing that.
It's I'll hang around as long as you will let me.
And I just love him to be like, I just love to hear him like that.
Dude, it gets people crunk, dude. But like, but that fucking live record he did, that's just called Coe, and it's the song "Time Off for Bad Behavior."
That song's fucking fantastic.
And the live version, though,
I don't know.
it's so fucking
But
good.
that song's fucking.
It's so good, dude.
That's Bo's favorite.
Dude, that's like
That song, yeah.
dude, it's just that line, because he even says, he stops the song, he's like, I think this is the coolest rhyme I ever heard. I was like, this is so
Because
sick.
that's how Grizz said cool. Like,
Coolest. Yeah.
That's a Texas thing, man. That's funny.
But it reminds me
I had
of
to wash
Harry.
it down with a cool.
That's what I'm saying. It reminds me of Harry Carey. Yeah, I like to wash it down with a nice cool Budweiser.
I don't know what made me think about it, but I did the good. I thought you were going to pick Mad Cow. she was like, I hadn't even thought about that in a very long time.
Right.
And when she's driving us somewhere, and I was like, hey, Brie, would you be the top side? Mad cow disease. And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, good, I thought you were going to say mad cow.
Yeah.
And then she remembered, and we just had a hard fucking laugh.
Dude, I was watching the one with Garth Brooks the other day.
Yeah.
The one where he was like, the guitar is out of tune. The SNL one.
Yeah.
Dude, that one cracks me up so good. I miss SNL during that time too, man.
What's your favorite planet? Mine's the sun.
I thought I was just staring at it.
The sun's not really a planet. Hey!
If the moon were made out of spare ribs, would you eat it? I sure would.
Like Jeff Goldblum's like, I guess I would.
Yeah. It's so
I think that was one of the things.
That's cool, but-
I think it was that and the cat toy tryouts were like his two auditions.
Yeah.
The cat toy tryouts is fucking when he does
Like, stops it.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks to throw it in the air.
he looks away and Meadows is like, get it, go on, get it.
Dude, the one where it's him and what's his face? Not Adam Carolla. I can't remember his name, but he's like, "We misplaced your baby," and they just lose it. And Tim Meadows comes in, and he just does the robot, and then he walks out, and he's like, "That's what they pay him for." Like, dude, the greatest of Will Ferrell is still like I remember going out and buying that. And me and my sister sitting down watching it like during like Christmas time or some shit like that, and just like literally like rewinding the one part where it's like it's him on the spin, and he's like singing "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year," and he keeps on throwing up.
Yeah.
Dude.
Or even the shorts on that when he just like steps out of the. He's like holding the umbilical cords. He steps out. He's like, "It is hot in here."
Yeah. Oh my god. Or what was the Bill Brasky?
Bill Brasky showed me how to make love to my wife.
There's a bunch of great Bill Brasky.
Dude, the Bill Braskys are the best.
Dude.
But the How to Train Your Pet, Ridicule and Verbal Mockery. Me and Andy used to quote that shit.
That one's good.
constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, where he's like talking shit to his dog and shit. Yeah, that one's good. His audition tape was really funny where he's like, get off the shed. Did you ever see his audition tape for SNL?
I don't remember, but I'm sure I did.
It's so funny.
You mentioned Night at the Roxbury earlier, and I'd watched that like a couple weeks ago, and just like Catan's funny as hell in that, but Will Ferrell plays such a dumbass so well.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
he's just completely clueless to what's going on, but when he speaks, tries to speak so clearly.
But it was that part where he's like, my favorite part of that whole thing is he's just like, "Did you grab my ass?" He's like, "Sir, that's physically impossible from across the room." He's like, "I know your tricks."
The prospector used to fucking crack me.
Oh yeah, dude.
Big time.
Is it because Tracy
I think
Morgan
I can
jumps up and
picture
he
it.
breaks during it too? Yeah, dude. That like.
Yeah, there's a.
Well, that was so they said that during that time that they just gave them like creative freedom. They were just like because the ratings were so low, so they were just like coming up with the stupidest shit. But like, remember, the one where he had like the tiny cell phone? They're all
Oh, dude.
Bro, that shit was amazing.
It's so in Milan.
Packing bags in Milan.
so good. But then it's like the infamous cowbell. It's like all that shit.
He tries to back out on the shred. He can't do it. And fucking Jimmy Fallon and the other dude just have to stand there while he's doing it. Oh
Right.
my god.
Dude, I mean, like there were like so many skits during that era that I just think were absolutely golden, and it's funny because it's like now like I don't even think anybody really fuck with SNL currently. Like there's like I'll still watch it every now and again if like somebody good's on. Like I saw the Shane Gillis one.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I missed it, but I've seen some clips and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want to be one of those motherfuckers that are like it'll never be the same, but it'll never be the same to me.
Well, so like, dude, like growing up, like Comedy Central was just like even as like because I'm younger than you guys, but they would just like play from like Bill Murray.
Spring chicken over here.
Oh yeah. I'm as gray as you, motherfucker. But they would play like from the Bill Murray era all the way up to like the 2005 era, like so I remember like watching like the old like John Belushi Samurai stuff as like a fucking 8th grader. You know what I'm saying? Like,
loved it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Cheeseburger, that shit.
Yeah,
I was watching that.
Pepsi no Coke.
Yeah, or the Dan Aykroyd as the digital confessor, the confession dude. He was like, dude, that one's so funny just because Dan Aykroyd's so dry.
I love Dan Aykroyd when he was doing the fucking Blammo toys.
Yeah.
He was like,
Oh yeah. His cigarette hanging out. Blammo toys.
He's like bag of glass. You know, it's a lot of fun for kids. Bag of glass. You know, that shit is fucking fantastic.
It's so
But
good.
you know, my parents were big in SNL, so I enjoyed that era a whole lot. But I mean, like the Mike Myers, Dan Carvey era was fucking sick.
Yeah, me and my mom quote the one where he's in the bathtub with his buds and shit. It's so funny. Yeah, it's so good.
I remember my mom loved the early, like the beginning all the way up to Sandler and stuff. And she would be like, you know, it's never that good again. She hated Sandler. She hated Farrell and Farley and all that. She didn't think it was funny. Right. And I remember she would cuss it and wish that, you know, it was back in the day stuff. And, you know, my dad would be like, yeah, Susan. And, you know, my mom would leave the room. Adam Sandler's fucking funny. He's just screaming and saying dumb shit. I love it.
So how do we feel about Happy Gilmore 2 coming up?
I'm stoked about that. I'm stoked about Spaceballs 2. I'm stoked about...
I didn't know.
Yeah, Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement, man. I was talking to them about it today. Apparently there's a trailer. I didn't even see it.
It's got little bits of it, but it's mainly like... the one I saw is Mel Brooks talking about getting it all back together. And then...
Brooks is fucking old now.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane. He outlived fucking Gene Wilder. Yeah. That's insane to me.
And then there's also a new Naked Gun coming out.
No way.
And so Trevor told me this.
Yeah, I forgot who the guy.
So it's the son of Frank Drebin, and who plays the son of Frank Drebin? Apparently it's Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
really?
Dude, yeah, like, you know, the driest dude you can imagine, just like Leslie Nielsen.
Dude, that was so sick.
I had to. He told me about that, and I was tattooing some young kid. And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, these movie called Naked Gun." And he like looked it up, and he goes, "Like, you know, it's him riding. Like the first one is him riding on a bullet, showing his badge with his gun.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what is that? Like, who is this old guy? What is that?" And like, oh well, there's this show Dragnet, and it's making fun of Dragnet, and blah blah blah. And, you know who O.J. Simpson is? And then, you know, I go through it, and then basically I was just like,
who are you talking to?
Young kid, young customer. Yeah. And finally I was like, look, man, it's just slapstick comedy. Everything, like, you got to pay attention to what everybody's saying. If there's a voice on the radio, you have to pay attention to that, because everything's a joke.
Right.
And I was like, my favorite part is he falls out of a window and he's hanging on the side of a building in the first Naked Gun, and he's trying to get himself back up, and he's hanging onto a dick. And he's and this lady opens the window up and starts screaming at him, and then he does something to turn the dick upright, and then it pans up to the statue, and the statue's smiling. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Well, I'm trying to show my kids Airplane, and they didn't fucking get it. But
we were just talking about that earlier today.
And on Airplane,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's so stupid, but it's so fucking good.
Or when he's like talking to the person, he was just like, "I need a doctor" or something like that. Like that whole exchange between them two is so good.
Or my two favorite are the it's just the beginning of the movie, and it's showing the outside and the loading zone, and it's the two voices.
On the intercom.
Well, wait, we both know
that's why I love
you. Want me to have an abortion?
Right? Yeah. Oh my god,
so funny. And then the other one is
sorry.
Can you give me the
totally unprofessional?
That's my Metamucil alarm, dude, to remind me to take my fiber. Not even joking.
I believe you, man.
We've been there.
Yeah. My other favorite is the can you put the ham on line one, hold the mayo, like the phone call, and then the it's like two phone calls, the pilot. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the other pilot, and he's got a last name that goes with the same.
You try running up and down the paint for fucking
carrying these two assholes. God damn,
this is so good. Yeah, I mean, like as a kid, like I used to watch that movie and think like the blow up doll part was funny, and like the whole like talk and jive part was funny.
But then
as an adult, it's like there's so many different like little things.
That's when I
just like-
developed a drinking problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't drink. Yeah, and then the whole fucking like Saturday Night Fever or Friday Night Fever, whatever that whole scene. It's like, dude, like when they were making those movies, like I feel like they were just like, yeah, fuck it, let's see if they'll put it out. You know?
Yeah.
Because there's another movie which is like one of my favorites. It's Amazon Women on the Moon. Did you ever see
Never
that
heard
one?
of that.
There's the opening scene is with Arsenio Hall, and it's like it's just this slapstick comedy, but it's like if you get a chance to watch it, like that beginning scene is the fucking funniest. But then there was like Kentucky Fried Movie and like all those other
I
joints.
just saw one the other day that I hadn't seen. It's called Mom and Dad Save the World.
I haven't seen it.
It's the principal from Ferris Bueller is the dad, and basically they're like in a station wagon. They're sort of driving across the country, and they get sucked up into a.
I've seen it. Yeah,
sucked
no.
up into a alien craft.
Right.
They're taking this planet.
Yeah.
And what's his name? John Lovitz is like the ruler of the alien planet. It's fucking.
That's insane.
You must love John Lovitz, please.
Oh, I love John Lovitz.
Man, he's
Yeah.
on-
John Lovitz and Andy and I, John Lovitz and Tom Hanks on SNL. Like, what a sight we must be. We must be completely hideous.
Yeah.
Here they come, and there they go. Like, they're two guys trying to pick up women on, like, they're trying to pick up elderly women on a fucking cruise.
So funny.
Lovitz has been showing up on Dice's Instagram.
Oh, yeah, you showed me one. It was good.
Great, bro. Do you follow Dice on Instagram?
Yes. Oh, he's hilarious. But no, my favorite recently with John Lovitz is him and Bill Burr going at it.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
No burger's out with anybody, bro.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
fucking
Did you see the one where it's the Bill Burr represents or presents whatever, and it's him, Dave Attell, and what's his face? That dude like the mic bumps or whatever. Dude, that shit had me rolling, dude.
The fucking Bill Burr, John Lovitz are like, this is your comedy, this is what you sound like, and then they do a impersonation.
Dude, it's so good.
the most immature shit on the planet.
But it's funny because John Lovitz won't say much to Bill, and he just cracks him. It's like it's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of like Norm Macdonald because like that's one of my favorites. But like when he was talking to what's his face from Full House, or was it the dude that the
Saget?
dad, yeah, Saget, and he was just like, yeah, when he was just like he stopped real quick and he says, and then Norm goes, "I found your son." Or whatever, and he's just like, "Good night, everyone," because he said he lost his son or some shit like that.
Bob Saget's The Aristocrats joke.
Yeah.
It is fucking
Yo,
good.
listeners, we've said this before. If you haven't seen The Aristocrats, not The Aristocats,
It's a documentary about a joke.
it's fucking hilarious. And
My brother gave it to me, and I watched it.
it's
and
gold.
I was like, Porter, you gotta, because Porter is very comfortable with humor that goes too far.
Right.
He doesn't. There's not a line for Porter, and he's like one of the people who taught me that. I used to be more easily offended by things,
Right.
and Porter's like, man, if it's a joke, let it ride.
Right.
And so I was so excited to show him The Aristocrats because it goes so over the top.
And also in it, George Carlin.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago.
Yeah, George Carlin, well, for the listeners, George Carlin is my favorite comedian ever, and he tells a joke, and it's great. And then,
What's his name? The screamer guy. What's his name? Fred. Not Fred. It was the guy that did the voice for the parrot in Aladdin or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I always forget his name.
yeah,
He's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
but then there's the other dude that does the version of Christopher Walken telling it.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak doing Christopher Walken telling the Aristocrats joke is by far the funniest. It's
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried. But
Bro, his is good.
Yeah.
the Christopher Walken is like one of the most genius, beginning front to back, side to side, funniest genius, most
Right.
genius. It's like a sort of a Broadway Danny Rhodes. You know, what is it? Don't give him the bum's rush. Here's pitch.
So good.
And, bro, after we watched that, Porter just shamelessly said those two lines
Right.
for the next 4 years.
My brother and I. So
Straight up, nobody would know what he was talking about except me and Andy, and he would just. We would be in a group of tattoo or whoever, and Porter would just be like, somebody would be trying to describe something, and Porter would say, like a Broadway Danny. I mean, just endlessly, bro. It was so great.
So good.
And then, so my brother lives in this town called Palmyra, which is on the other side of Charlottesville. It's about an hour and a half from here. And it's just like where Nick lives.
Right.
Just a little podunk town. And they had a bar, or like across the street from where my brother lived. There was the only bar and restaurant in the whole area. And the first time we ever went there, because I couldn't find his apartment, he's like, just meet me at the restaurant. We're going to have a couple drinks. I was like, all right. I met him at 5 and we closed that bitch down. Mm-hmm. And him and I, some old timers were sitting there and they were like, you boys know any good jokes? And Ash and I just didn't even say anything to each other. Ash just goes, well, you see, there's this ringmaster at the circus, and as soon as he started, like, I just let him go, and I would like interject, like, but what about this? And I mean, we got raw and ruthless. You
were like the Flavor Flav to the Chuck D.
Yeah, but I would like throw something in, and my brother like knew what to do with it, right. And then he would be like, well, what about? I'm like, oh yeah, that thing, yeah. And like these two guys were just like, what the fuck are you all? And it was like 45 minutes.
Right.
And then finally we're like, we both did the Drew Carey, the Aristocrats.
Yeah.
And it went way over their head, and my brother and I fucking cried. We laughed so hard.
Fun.
We had a crowd around us, and like at least 3 other people like laughed. They didn't know what we were talking about, but they laughed their fucking asses.
They were probably like, these motherfuckers are from outer space.
Yeah, these boys are from Charlottesville.
Do y'all fuck with any like newer stand up at all?
I just watched this magician comedian. I gotta look his name up. He was on that
brand new Netflix special.
Yeah, the one with.
It took so long though. I wanted to love that.
The one where he takes the dollar bill and folds it up, and then he gives it to dude gives him $100 bill.
If you think about that being an hour and 10 minutes long, he did like 6 things.
But he told a lot of jokes throughout the whole thing. I thought it was really good.
It was entertaining.
Yeah,
I will say that Shane Gillis, Beautiful Dogs, is amazing, bro.
Bro, it was incredible. And I just saw just a piece of it the other day. And I think I didn't say something to you.
Yeah.
When he's like, the opener, he's like, I go to other people's countries, and as soon as I get off the plane, I'm like, it's your fucking country. It fucking sucks. He's like, America rules. And then he's like, inevitably, somebody's like, why you guys all have all these mass shootings? He's like, well, at least we're not gay.
Yeah.
I like, damn, if it ain't hilarious.
Yeah, I think the best part of that one is when he's talking about getting punked on by the goth Australian. Yeah. He's like, he's so fierce and dark, it's so funny. He's like, nice hat, loser. Dude, that whole part had me going. But when he was talking about the whole the Marine being his girl's ex, had me fucking going.
It's like fucking Navy SEALs aren't that tough or whatever.
Yeah, he starts going. But like that, and then I know that Sebastian is supposed to be like putting out a new one, so I know you like him.
I love Sebastian.
Yeah, dude, he like seriously, he has there's that one where he's wearing that like pink like tight sweatshirt one. Yeah. That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah,
sure.
It's so good.
It's like. What's the matter with you? I think.
Yeah.
God damn, it's good.
Dude, he's so good. But then I like the one where he's in the tuxedo and he even like announces he's like, yo, I don't know why the fuck I wore this tuxedo.
Yeah.
But I actually.
Sebastian Maniscalco, the Italian guy.
I don't know. I think I know who he is. I
didn't know anybody who loved it, and then I was at Kings Ave. And I come around the corner, and AJ and Mike are like crouched down watching the laptop underneath the counter, cracking up. And I'm like, oh shit, I love Sebastian Maniscalco. Like, let me pull this up. Like, show it to them real quick, and they're just all dying. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Well,
my wife hates him.
My brother's way into him, and I saw the original one where he's in like the fucking like weird tie or the bow tie and whatever a long time ago. And I thought it was funny, but then I was like, I never heard anything about him. And by the time I like came back to it,
like the purple one and the one right after that, are fucking masterpiece.
Oh, dude, yeah, and the one where he's wearing where he's like talking about waddling like a penguin and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like for stand up, at least in the last 5 years, there's been so many good ones that have come out.
Oh,
it's insane. Like even like the newer Bill Burr was good.
Yeah. The Red Rocks one.
I love the Red Rocks one, man. Like that one. I love
Paper Tiger. Paper Tiger was fun.
That one was so. That was the one. Paper Tiger was like the one like right before Trump, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wearing like the Western shirt.
He was in.
He's talking about the cruise, where he was like the one where he's talking about the cruise. He's like, if I was gonna get rid of a bunch of people, I'd just take down cruise ships. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know.
I can't remember if that's...
Paper Tiger's in London.
I think that's the one, yeah.
What's the name of the dude that I can never remember his fucking last name? I mean, he's raw. He says the worst things. He's like a
Anthony Jeselnik?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
You're talking about somebody like he was like, oh, my wife hates this guy, dude. I put on Anthony Jeselnik. Knowing my wife.
You don't put on that in front of your old lady.
It's like fire in the maternity ward.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Where he's talking about the cross hanging from the fucking crib or whatever.
Oh god, it's so good.
But when he was talking about, he's like, I tweeted out after the Boston Marathon, there's some lines you just don't cross. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
animal.
Dude.
But his roast material is also
really
crazy good.
But like, dude, now it's like that fucking Tony dude. The Kill Tony?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, those are like ridiculous now.
And the one that they put on Netflix is not that funny.
The one that they put...
All the dudes dressed up, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, they put up that roast of Tom Brady, and that thing was like...
That was wild.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know? But like, I don't know. And then like, you know...
But Nikki Glaser was probably the best set of that whole of the Brady one. Hers was fucking
Right.
cool.
Yeah, she brought it.
Oh, man. There's like, it's funny because now like I follow a few other comedians that are coming up in New York, and like one of them, like that Daniel Strauss kid that works at R&D tattoos a bunch and knows him. Or I can never remember his name, but he's like got like kind of like curly hair, and he's like receding, and he's got like glasses. He's like a hardcore kid almost, but he's fucking hilarious. When I find it, I'll send it to you. But like, it's like there's like a lot of younger dudes coming up. They have a podcast like him and this girl. And like even recently, like Tom Segura was on it. Yeah. You know, so it's just like, which is also crazy to see like Tom Segura putting like AJ and Meadow on a podcast.
Yeah. Y'all fuck with Mark Norman?
I feel like which one was Mark Norman?
Yeah, if you don't know, he's just a little guy. He does the Protect Our Parks episodes of Rogan. Anyway, he was on some chick's podcast recently. And he recently had a child, and he was talking to this chick, and she was just like, how long have you been married? I think he said 7 years. And she was like, yeah. She was like, you know, I've been in a relationship. I'm ready to get married. But, you know, I'm 37 now. He goes, yuck. And it was just fucking hilarious. I would love his shit. He's a funny guy. But I don't love his shit, but goddamn, I just saw a clip of it on my Instagram feed, and it just fucking cracked me up. The timing was just nailed perfectly.
Yeah, it's funny because like I like
Jeselnik's my dude.
Yeah. Jeselnik's good, but I was I keep on going back to I thought you said Mark Maron at first, but that dude's fucking hilarious. But he
I don't fuck
he just recently got put in that show with Owen Wilson or whatever. It's like the golf show or whatever. That's Stick.
I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, it looks kind of good. So I was like, you know. I
mean, I'm such a fan of Happy Gilmore and Caddyshack. Like, I'll give golf humor a try whenever I can.
It looks good on you though.
Nice hat. It's coming with a free bowl of soup.
That was my dad's favorite. Is Rodney Dangerfield.
And you said Rodney Dangerfield, like. I don't know, just a couple minutes of Rodney,
right.
And it was all like basically my wife jokes, and it made me think of from Goodfellas, what is his name, Benny?
The comedian.
Yeah,
with the violin.
He's like, my wife asked me to said she wanted to go somewhere she's never been before for our anniversary. I said, why don't you try the kitchen? Fucking masterful, bro.
So good.
You take my wife.
Please take my wife.
I take her where I go. She always comes back.
Oh shit.
Talk amongst yourself, boys.
Yes, sir.
You want to give us a topic? American Revolution is neither American nor a revolution.
Today was cool though.
It was
pretty steady all day. I was enjoying it.
I'm glad you got to tattoo Ashley. Ashley rules.
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling Nick earlier, I was like she really knew her shit as far as like the podcast goes, and like even like she was like looking at my machine. She was like, M. Wilson, is that Mike Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I know that name, and but I was like, yeah, it was cool. I guess Trevor and you. She said you did her first tattoo and then covered it up.
Yeah,
which is like it was like a peace sign or some shit like that, and then she covered it up
I
with a
couldn't
cross.
remember. We're talking about a long time ago.
Yeah, but Richie did a tattoo on her wrist. It was like a swallow, and then it done something right above it. Tiger head too.
Yeah.
And it was really nice, man.
Richie does great tattoos.
I miss him. I thought I was going to get to see him this come around, but, it is what it is. But miss you, Richie.
Yeah, if y'all are listening, Richie Stutler is going to be in Pittsburgh. Keep an eye out for him. I don't know where he's going to land, but when he lands, we'll let everybody know.
You mind grab me one?
Can you grab me one? I like beer. Man, when I asked you earlier, like, you want some beef bulgogi, I fucking chuckled. I was so proud of myself.
I'll never live that down. But also, like, respectfully so. It's like, it's funny to have lore in a town that I, like, have never lived in.
I thought about saying, like, hey, man, I assume you're staying here tonight?
Yeah.
I was going to say you're welcome to crash in my place, but then you don't want to. There's, like... Everywhere is like fucking tricked out in Legos. There's Legos that like you trip and fall in Legos. There's 3 dogs that are animals, like just they're complete maniacs.
Your
like,
dogs are animals?
They're maniacs.
Apparently, that's how dogs work.
Dogs that are animals.
They're actually plants, minerals and vegetables.
I got the minerals and vitamins.
Ions and the niacins. Fuck cruise that I've been rapid sit back. I'm about to begin.
You back up 3 dogs, Pete?
No, we never had 3 dogs until right now. But we got the 3rd dog thinking that the first dog we had was about to croak at any minute, and then we changed her diet to like a no grain feed, and I think she's gonna live another 20 years. Which I'm cool with. I love this dog. She's so sweet.
It's a boxer, right?
Yeah, the little brown boxer.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
How'd that tattoo come out, actually?
It was fun, man. I, in perfect style, I overdrew the shit out of it, and then when she came in, it ended up being a lot smaller, so I was like, oh, let me go simplify it, and it came out cool, you know?
She's been a loyal customer for a fucking long time.
Right. Well, I mean, it's always nerve-wracking when that happens, like, especially on, like, a guest spot, because it's like, hey, this is a person that has tattoos from everybody, and you get to tattoo her. And it's
Just
like,
trying to get a 1-star review over here.
oh, like the first time I came?
Yeah. That should be good.
All right, cool. I'll
You got a
try my hardest.
1-star review?
Dude, do you not remember that? My first time ever guest spotting here was like Nick was just like doing me a fucking favor. Because to Nate probably. He was like, I'll...
Yeah. I mean, that beat what I was going to say. Like, we've done you a lot of favors, Dave, was what I was going to say. But
Sure.
Welcome to the big favor.
Yeah. No, oh, yeah. The big favor? Okay. I remember that. All right. No, but the first time I came here, I tattooed like a group of like nurses. And when it got done, I was just like, I made a joke. I was like, you're nurses, you'll figure out how to take care of it. And everyone was like, And then like the next day I get home and Nick's like, hey man.
Didn't even tell us how to take care of our stuff.
Yeah, I was like, and he was like, hey man, I'm just going to let you know, like, I know this is bullshit because like all the guys vouch for you, but like you got a 1-star review. And I was just like, I remember I like literally like pulled in the driveway and put it in park. And I was just like this. So I was like, yes sir, sorry sir, you know. And my wife was just like, later she's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I just went to like a place that I really, really look up to and got a fucking 1-star review. She was like, you'll get over it.
Not to put you on the spot, but I don't think you've ever gotten a 1-star review. But
I've definitely
have had jokes that didn't land.
I've also been. I am totally guilty of going through a period where I was a raging cocksucker. I said,
well, it's still here. I mean, we're right here right now. So
I mean, I'll openly admit, you know, and there's no excuse for it. I could give you a million reasons why I was that way, but you know
what? I feel like that's something that we worked through together, and I feel like you took constructive criticism, and you like, I feel like you had to fully accept that was true.
Yeah.
In a hard way, and then you changed it, and you know, once you reach a certain age, man, if you can look in the mirror and correct, then that's what it means to grow, man. You know, that's...
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
like
recently, like
always, sorry to cut you off. Also, always been one of the most loved here. Always. Even during your dick phase, you had half the people fighting for you, loving you more than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, this week, we've been down a couple people because of vacations and stuff.
And because Richie fucking quit.
This motherfucker.
Piece of shit.
I had 3 days where I had 3 days where I was booked, and then somebody, like a big appointment, would reschedule. So I just So I just had to, I had to take walk-ups, and I love taking walk-ups. One of my favorite things is to give somebody their first tattoo. And I did a whole lot, and like it was at the end of the day, when I sat down and reflected upon the day, like I had a moment where I was like, I did upside down tattoo here, and I did this color outline tattoo there, and at the end of the day, nobody that I look up to or respect is going to come down on me for doing that. And for me to and I also learned a long time ago that it's not worth browbeating somebody into getting what you think is a better tattoo. They're just on Amazon clicking buttons as far as they're concerned.
But we all had to come to that realization. Like I used to lecture people about wanting something upside down, or lecture somebody about wanting something that's wrong. And I had to realize, and Porter, I think you and I kind of learned together that it's your duty to explain it,
right? But after that,
you shouldn't force it on people.
No, and nowadays, if I'll tell people hey, just letting you know, to the world, this is upside down. But if it's for you, then it's for you, and I'm not going to fight you on it. Because before it was I remember at the shop I learned at, we had a little thing that said no, we don't do upside down tattoos, and I'm like, nowadays I'm like, that's half the tattoos I do, but to them it's not upside down. It's literally because they want to look at it.
Well, they don't care what we think.
Right.
You know what I mean? But down the street when it became popular, Andy just made a block and wrote "It's for me" and then hung it upside down in the lobby.
Right.
And that to this day is something I fucking
it's
love.
So funny.
It's great. He just wrote out "It's for me."
Right.
And then hung it upside down.
I tell you what, the only time I get a little weirded out about it now is when the little handwriting script, and they'll get it on across their hand, and it's for them to see.
Yeah.
And that or knuckle tattoos that are upside down. It's that really bothers me, because I'm like, man, this is your hand. Mm-hmm. This is your hand. You might not care about it now because you're young, but one day you will.
But they go home and they tell their boyfriend, this motherfucker with a skull in his neck had the nerve to tell me that it was on my...
He looked like one of those greasy YouTube tattooers who, are super elitist, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But this week I did a whole lot of tattoos that I normally don't get to do. This kid had a bunch of, poorly done tattoos on it. Just, that set of knuckles to right there. It was just laced out, and he had a spot right there. It was all... Right. Pretty poorly placed.
Was the shit he had done?
I don't know who had done it. I doubt he did it.
The dude that AC was tattooing earlier that had all the Jesus stuff, dude, his whole sleeve, he has the praying hands behind his ears. He did the grenade.
That always comes in with the. Sorry if I offend anybody. It's it might as well be Jesus with an AR.
Oh, the guy with the
yeah. No, but he Andrew had fucking put a cover up on him, and it's the knight with the sword and the stone, and then had this clouded look, but it's wings behind him. And he was like, yeah, and that's a cover up. I was just I was so blown away.
Yeah.
I was
that dude's skin is cooked.
Yeah, but then there's one, it's Jesus. It's I never posed that I've ever seen. It's crosses on his back, and he's holding himself up.
Yep.
Dude, I was just
that's
thoroughly
Andy's favorite shit,
bro. I was thoroughly blown away.
He does it, man. Not to
You're all good at the...
Well, you gotta understand, I'm Andrew's biggest fan.
Dude, he's so good.
But pretty much all he does is for pleasure anymore, is dragons.
Yeah, dude.
And I get it, because you guys know.
It's the most complicated thing you can draw.
You cannot draw a dragon.
Right.
And so that he's chasing that, and I respect the fuck out of that.
Right.
But man, he used to just come into the shop with a fucking pen and ink Jesus, like a Christ face, where you can see the eyes through the eyelids, and so if you relax your face, his eyes were closed. If you look at him, his eyes were open, and it would just be ballpoint pen and be mind blowing. Yeah. He could just letter something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Well, you have that one in your office of like the skull and the wolf and like, and then didn't he do like a Muhammad Ali one for you or something like that?
Muhammad Ali,
it's insane.
ODB. Well, the charcoals that I have are Muhammad Ali, ODB, and Richard Pryor.
Right.
And then I have a George Carlin. It's George Carlin in a monk's suit, like a monk's outfit, like the brown, like friar tuck monk outfit. And he's like this. Yeah. And in red, like old English, like Gothic lettering, it says, "May the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house." It's so fucking cool.
He showed me a painting he was working on.
Still crushing. I'm not taking that one, but he used to just like when Porter says that religious stuff is his bread and butter. He has such a knack for that.
It's so good though. It's like he knows what those people are looking for. He's trying to give those people that
he's blowing their mind.
Right.
And he's showing them the tattoo they've never even fathomed before.
And he's letting them know that too. And when they go around showing it off, like they know that they're hot shit for having it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he showed me a painting he worked on for like something for like Christian Lane or something like that. That thing is absolutely insane in so many good ways. And then he then proceeded to show me this oil painting he's doing out of it, like of that building or that house.
Steve's office.
Yeah, and it's like
when he flashed that picture, I thought it was a photograph. He was
right. Yeah. Well, it was funny because him and I, he was like, he had the reference photos, and Porter was like, "God damn!" He's like, "Oh no, that's just a reference photo."
Yeah, it was like it zoomed into the front porch. You could see all the siding. I was like, "Did you?" And he was like, "No. Yeah. I didn't do all the siding." But I was like, "Andy, that's amazing, but it's got to be nerve-wracking doing that." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "No. It's got to be nerve-wracking putting the labor in to paint that." But it's got to be nerve-wracking staring at the building that you fucking hate walking into once or twice a year.
Yeah,
right.
It's a painful thing.
I remember I think it was my first guest spot here. I had or it might have been the second one or third, whatever. I just remember you took me out partying, and then you dropped me off on Sunday, and you're like, "All right, have a good day." I was like, "Oh fuck, you're not working today?" He's like, "No."
That's why I got so
fucked up last night. But I remember I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I remember I had to come in, and the first thing that somebody picked off the wall was like a crawling down pinky on tiger with like the waves,
sick.
And it was out of that, in that ex guest station. But I remember I had to do that, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" I gotta do an actual good tattoo in front of these guys. And I remember being so nervous, and I remember being like, "Oh fuck, I gotta get tattooed by AC after this." And I remember walking over to him, I was like, "Hey man, if you ain't got time today, I get it, man." He's like, "Well, I came in on my day off to tattoo you, so we're gonna tattoo you."
Oh, he'll serve you a cold if it needs.
Dude, but I know he knew I was in pain.
Yeah, he knew that you were out the night before with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he was like, "You had fun with Porter last night?"
Yeah. So I see you got to hang with Porter.
Right. God, yeah. But yeah, every time I've ever...
Strangest thing, that was the night that a Korean went in my backyard and puked everywhere.
Yeah.
Korean?
Yeah. Beef bulgogi all over my backyard. It's crazy.
Yeah, disgusting.
Didn't you have beef bulgogi earlier?
No, I remember we went to Beyond that night. Yeah. I'd come home, and you were already asleep, and I was like, "Pour me a shot, dude." And you were like, "Okay." And you did a shot, and I was like, "Pour me another one, dude. Fuck you." And you were like, "Okay." And then another one, and you were like, "Good night, David." And I was like, "Good night." And I just went stumbling down your stairs. And I remember laying there, and I was just like, "Oh God, I gotta purge." And I just walked outside, just did. I was like, "I'll wait till the morning, I'll hose it off." And then I went upstairs, and it was when Becca was pregnant. Yeah. And she was like, it's like the most sweetest morning.
She was making him breakfast.
No, she was making breakfast for all of us. Yeah. And
she never does that unless we have a guest. So she's making you breakfast.
Well, yeah, sure, yeah. But so. I remember she was like, "Oh, y'all had fun last night, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Yeah." And you'd come out, you'd walk by, you're like, "What's up, good morning?" And the dog that you had was just licking my face, and I was like, "Man, this dog, whatever." And then she looks over at you, she's like, "Did you throw any food out in the yard last night or whatever?" And you just look at me and you're like, "You threw up, didn't you?"
And she goes, "It smells like beef bulgogi." And I went, "There was a goddamn Korean in my backyard."
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I just remember that night. I was just when I came back, I was like, I definitely chose the wrong person to be like, "Pour me a shot."
And I do remember saying, "All right, David, good night."
Yeah.
But I definitely am totally guilty of coming home from the bar or hanging out with
Well, that was also the cake incident too, where you come.
So much trouble. Becca got a cake for something. I forget what it was for. It was for the for telling my mom and my brother that Becca was pregnant, and she. I took a slice out of it, but she like put it in the fridge. She's like, "Do not, do not." And I went, "Okay." And the best part was I remember taking the slice out of it and thinking of doing some fucking Heathcliff Huxtable shit from the Cosby Show, where I take the slice out and then I pack paper towels in it and smear the fucking icing over it.
I remember
I didn't do it. I was too drunk to do it.
Well, Porter does have a thing in him that when he opens the fridge and sees something that he has to have it. Like he can't not.
Sure. Yeah.
He'll accept that it wasn't his and he'll fight whoever is mad about it.
Right.
He'll accept that it's too late or that whatever rule he's breaking, he'll accept it and do it anyway.
I just remember waking up hearing her fucking screaming at you, and I was just sitting there just feeling like a stepchild. It's like, oh no. Like,
Also, though, I imagine it was like screaming, but playful in a way, almost like playing into the
right
bullshit of it.
Yeah.
Well, at first I was like, oh shit, he's in trouble, and then I was like,
I can imagine her really giving you shit, but in a way that's like, I'm gonna put on.
She knows who the fuck she married.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. From time to time, she'll be in here without him.
Right.
And any person.
yeah.
Will start to tell her about him, and I'm just thinking to myself, I stopped doing that like 6 or 7 years ago because she knows better than anybody.
Right.
She really knows better.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's crazy. I like when you said that Richie had worked here for 8 years. Because I was listening to the podcast with Cohen on the way up here.
Yeah, shout out to Cohen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I was like sitting there thinking, I was like, man, like the first guest spot I ever did here, Richie wasn't even working here yet.
Yeah.
And that's like crazy to think like how fast time's flying. But I'm like, man,
It's wild.
I've lived in Jacksonville for almost 6 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm, like I started coming around here like right when I started hanging out in Greensboro.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I thought we were going to lose Richie to y'all, to Jacksonville.
Really?
Because he came down here for a while where he was dating a girl at the time. And she came down and gave it her best shot, but just didn't like it here.
Sure.
And she moved to Jacksonville.
Right.
She was like, I'm moving to Jacksonville. And I don't want to put too much of the business out there, but he didn't go. He stayed here.
Yeah.
But I thought...
No, he loves you. You know what I'm saying? Like I even
He said he had more work to do here.
No, I mean like I remember because like I met Richie.
Admirable.
I met him at the Philly convention like before I was even thinking about apprenticing, and I went and worked it. It was me, Devin, Mikey, and my mentor Adam. Are you staring at his chain, dude?
It was flipped around, and there's a light aimed right at him, and it was just like
It's bling. Hey, his shit goes bling blow, dude.
It was like it was like you were the sniper.
Your shit goes bling bling. His shit goes bling blow.
Bling blow.
Yeah.
My guns go bang bang. Your guns go pow pow.
Yeah. But I remember going to the Philly convention, and it was my mentor Adam Duncan, Mikey, Devin, and then Devin tattooed Richie there.
Yeah.
And he did like this like weird dragon head on him. And we were right next to Frank William and Mario Dessa. It was my first time ever meeting those guys, and they were like super mad cool. I met Mac and like all the hero dudes up there. Like that, like to not be apprenticing and be at that row was like perfect for me in the beginning, you know? But I remember meeting Richie there, and then like years later, I remember while I was apprenticing, I met Richie again at the Cleveland convention. It was the last one that Dave Wolf had worked right before he opened up Tattoo Demon. And then later, I remember him coming down and guest spotting here, and it was like the minute he started working here, I was like, oh shit, like I want to come and hang out with Richie more. Yeah. So that's who I would mostly bro it down with whenever I'd come through here, but it's, you know,
motherfucker.
He's a killer.
He went from being okay.
Right.
Like every tattoo he did, he and I just talked about this, but every tattoo he did when he started here wasn't like passable to the standards that Porter was putting out. And I say Porter because Porter was the guy who was doing all the stuff that Richie ended up doing.
Sure.
But goddamn, I mean, he didn't become a great tattoo.
There was a tattoo that he had done. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the best thing I told Richie this. I told his wife this. I tell anybody that asks me. Richie's dedication, his labor, I breathed new life into me when he came to work here. And the best thing in the world is watching. It became like a thing where I was like, dude, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Where he just kept laboring over a design. Yeah. He'd retrace it and redraw
right.
retrace it.
And then he'd do color studies.
Yeah.
The different color studies.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I need to do that. I need to do color studies, but you're doing too many color studies.
Right.
Like I went over one day, and he was tracing out like a Mike Malone design from the bin that didn't have any shading in it. It was just the outline. It was a real simple, small one. I was like, why are you tracing that? He goes, oh, I just wanted to get it ready. I was like, I took it from him. I took the board from him. I walked him into the copy room. Put it on the. I took the copy he was tracing off of. Took his tracing paper off. Cut it out. Ran it through the Thermofax. I was like, "There's your stencil, dude. Yeah. You're not here to give him the best drawing. You're here to give him the best tattoo." Shout outs to Tony Riccio. But like, he was like, "Oh, okay," and that was like the only shortcut he ever took from me. After that, it was still like I have to labor over this and get it. I have to know every angle of it.
Well, I mean, but he's like, that's him though. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like I remember it was right before y'all moved from the old location to here. I walked in, because like I would always be like, because I started looking at a lot of the black and gray stuff he was doing, and he was just killing it. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, you finally, like, he was doing like the hair on the wool. Like, I was watching him learn all these tricks. And then I come through and there's this girl that had like this graveyard scene on her arm. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, it looks like the fog going through the gravesite. I was like, how the fuck did you do that? And he's just like, oh, I don't know. Like, I just kind of studied it. And I'm like, dude, like this, like to get that look without it being illustrated like a comic book, like without having a million lines, it's like super impressive.
I think he falls... Mike Wilson, Steve Tiberi, Richie Stutler.
Yeah.
I feel like that. I mean, like it's just the way he approaches things. You'll watch Wilson, you'll watch Tiberi. They approach things the same way. Just keep doing it. They're not afraid to look at the old stuff. They're not afraid to reissue, reuse, repurpose old stuff. He carries around binders of designs. I have binders of designs too, but it's binders of ideas, binders of stuff that pertain to Hanyas, tigers.
Right.
And you know, Wilson, like, and Andy does it as well. I mean, we all do it to a degree, but like, you know, like every time Wilson's here, he'll come by and put something on my little shelf, and later on I'll look at it, and it's something that he found online or found in here or found in a magazine, and he made a copy of it, and he'll write a note on it and put it somewhere where he can find it later.
Right.
And he's like, you might want to look at this later. This is really cool. You know, and what he's saying is like, this is where the ideas come from. You can pull it out of your head all you want, and that's great, and that's fine.
Right.
But if it's already there, then why the fuck not use it?
Right. Well, it's funny because not only does Richie have a really badass back piece from Mike, or at least in the making. I don't know if they ever finished it.
It's in the making. Poor Richie, man.
Yeah.
He hates it.
He's never going to get another tattoo when that thing's done.
But I remember like sitting there talking to Wilson about that design. I had no idea who it was going on.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm pulling up to Harrisonburg right now, and I'm going to do that tattoo. And then I think I like FaceTimed you or something. And I was like, I remember me and you talking, and you're like, yeah, Wilson's here or whatever. And like, I could see in the background it was Richie getting tattooed. And you're like, oh, I was like, what is Richie getting tattooed? You're like, oh, he's getting his back piece. And I was like, that fucking Pinky Young design is on fucking Richie's back. I was like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, but
one of my favorite Wilson Richie things is maybe Wilson's maybe second. Like the first couple times he came, he just tattooed the crew.
Right.
And then like the third or fourth time he came, he tattooed Farron, Tate, and Dalton in the same day, and they all got huge fucking tattoos.
right.
Dalton did the wall?
Yeah.
At the old shop?
Yeah. That's how I met Dalton.
Huh.
And they all got big shit, so he was working his ass off that day. But me and Richie are standing over him while he's working on one of them, and Wilson like he does this like sweeping shading,
Yeah,
you know?
pendulum.
And me and Richie are watching him do it, and then me and Richie look at each other and we're like,
Yeah.
cool. And then like fucking 4 months later, I'm watching Richie tattoo, and he's doing that shit,
Right.
and just crushing them.
Right.
And I was just like, oh man, it's so cool to know the influence that Mike has.
Sure.
Richie, observe him use the technique, see the technique in the tattoo, see the tattoo healed, understand how it works, and then execute the same technique.
Sure.
You know, that's like,
it's magic.
It's just a really good feeling. It's just like,
I mean, but that's the magic of tattooing, though. You know, it's like recently, like I said, you know, like, was it 2 or 3 days ago or 2 days ago that Wilson was at Legacy? You know, it's like, you know, where I came from. So it's like the fact that I got to link Nate and Wilson up and have Wilson tattoo the crew and like come by and like work at Legacy and like tattoo everybody. Everyone, I think like Jave and D bought a machine off of them, and like, you know, it's like they got to witness that. Like they didn't have to go anywhere but work to go get a cool tattoo. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I even talked to him later. I was like, you know, there is something about watching somebody like that tattoo that like it changes you for the rest of your tattoo career if you like really pay attention.
Dude, you want to see example of that? Go to Absolute Art's Instagram feed right now, and Mike Wilson's tattooing, and you can see Tony standing next to him, and Tony has the most just like arms crossed, just like what is going on?
It's also joy on his face, like
he's very happy, but he knows what he's looking at because he'd seen Bruno. Bruno, I don't know. I've never seen him do a traditional tattoo, so I don't know if he ever used that sweep technique.
You never saw Brian do a traditional tattoo?
Oh no, I've only seen him do Japanese tattoos. He
in person, or like you've never seen a traditional tattoo?
I've seen his.
Okay, I was like you're
yeah. Becca's got a beautiful rose and eagle from him. That like the center of the rose is just black, and I love it.
Right.
Where that like fold is. But I've never seen him do that because there's two different styles require two different techniques, and so I don't know if because Brian's always pushing. You know, when he does Japanese
the fucking front sweep, You had done a podcast a while ago, and y'all were talking about that, and I was just like, oh fuck, I know exactly what you're talking about. To change that, dude. Like honestly, I was listening to the other episode about you talking to the sign painter that did the Lehigh one. Is that his name, Dalton? But he killed that, obviously. And you mentioned. And I don't care. I'll say it. You had mentioned about having Bruno on the podcast and like being able to have his kids listen to it later, and like straight up just like welled up on the ride here and just started like crying like a little bitch. I was like, holy fuck! Like I was like, that's deep as fuck, dude. Like, but I was like, man, like, but you're not wrong. Like I'm like, man, like you've created history here, you know, and like I remember listening to so many ones with Brian, and it's like how light he is, but also how like he would say something and it was just like you would stop and listen. You know, so it'd be light, but you'd be like waiting to hear what this motherfucker was going to say. You know,
well, his kids know that he's a great dad, right?
Right.
But they're going to be told what a legend he was,
right?
And they're not going to have a frame of reference directly for the legendary status like they do for the great dad thing, right?
Yeah, when they finally surpass that, like, yeah, whatever, he's my dad, it's not cool, it's just tattoos, to like, well, wait a minute, all these people, like when they start lifting their head up and seeing
that point,
they'll
be able to listen to him through No Lashes Bullshit and him converse with Timothy. You know, like, I don't know, man. He did probably 8 episodes.
Right.
It's 7 or 8. A bunch. And
yeah.
I'm fucking grateful for every single one of them.
Honestly, it was like after you had mentioned that, I was like, I want to go back and listen to him so I could listen to him. You know what I'm saying?
The one with him and Timothy, man.
That's the one.
In the hotel. It's so fucking ill.
Yeah.
And it kind of got slept on, and then...
Honestly, one of my favorite ones, not to veer away from Brian, because one of my favorite ones is the one with Will talking about, with Lolly talking about his experience at the hotel, doing the fucking peyote or whatever the fuck he was doing. Like, literally, that is one of my favorite fucking ones. It's so fucking funny. But,
Will's a fucking genius.
Yeah. But I mean, like, as far as, like, Bruno goes, the last time I saw him was, I was with you. I was in Richmond at the Avail reunion.
Yeah.
And I remember walking up, because I'm always nervous, no matter what.
Right.
And I walked up to him, and I always think that I'm, like, these are like top tier dudes. They ain't gonna fucking remember me. And I walked up to him. I was like, hey man. And I was about to be like, my name's Dave. And he's like, hey, what's up, Dave? And I was just like, oh fuck, that made me worse.
Yeah.
I was like, what's up, Brian, Bruno? You know?
The only thing I wish that we got through anything, us as tattooers, like this sounds so small, but I think you all know what I'm talking about. I would wish we had more video of Brian talking. Because I loved how he talked.
That there was that last Sparrow.
He would always like it, just the way he spoke with his hands. Like I was always mesmerized.
And he also has such a distinct voice too. You know what I'm saying? Like his like I used to love the last time I went, because I remember like right before, it was like right when.
I've got it. I gotta get walk around. I'm falling out.
Do you mind grabbing me another?
No, I got you. I'll top both of you off.
You know, like right before Absolute went into the new building, me, Nate, Mitchell, and D all took a drive up because I just got my new car.
Justin D.
Oh, dude, D Self, David. We all took a trip. He got tattooed by Rennie. I want to say Mitchell got tattooed by Rennie as well. I don't think Bruno was there. He stopped by for a minute and said what's up to Nate. Because that was like right after Nate, like he hadn't really gone out too much. It was like after the cancer and stuff like that. And I remember just being in there and just like listening to them talk, and like how like literally like if you could have been an entry level tattooer to like the top tier tattooer. They didn't change for nobody, and they were literally the funniest people to listen to talk. Like I remember talking to Mike Rennie. I don't know if you remember his station, but he had like a little cutout of like a Supreme pizza, and then I was like, "Yo, what's up with that?" He's like, "Just looks like a cool pizza, man." I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, dude." But like it's just like shit like that. It's like it's so refreshing because it's like, oh yeah, it's just like regular dudes hanging out and just shooting the shit with each other. You know,
they were super regular dudes.
It
They were
is so
the most
funny.
regular dudes, you know. But that you could feel the tattoo pressure when you walked in that fucking place, bro.
So I never had to like do anything. Like I every time I went in there, I tried to fly under the radar. But I mean, I remember going to it was where I met you at. It was when you were cooking out back at the Richmond convention.
Yeah.
I remember going in there and I didn't say a word to nobody. I just got quiet and I just started looking at the walls. Because if you had never been there, looking at that ceiling was enough to just be like, God damn, dude. Like, you just get lost in that place, dude. Like,
that place was something. I mean, we definitely modeled 990 after that place.
Yeah.
Like, we did. Yeah. We weren't trying to take their look, but we were such a fan of the feel that it brought to people that came in.
Yeah.
I think a good way of putting it is we knew that there was magic behind what they were doing, and we knew we could make that magic.
Sure.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But it was y'all's own, though. You know,
Yeah,
that's the reason. I remember like one of my favorite things when you would walk in at like, or when you're closing up at night, was that Jesus piece of Jake Station.
That neon. Damn, that was the coolest shit.
Yeah, because that would tied that place.
I took my cameras in there. I took my phone in there. I tried so hard. You just couldn't. I don't know if I just didn't have the skills or it's just like I took a ton of photographs of that from Brian's station and then from like the hall next to the counter where the credit card machine was, so that I thought it would be cool to have like just the wall and then the neon like right next to it, so that it was casting light in there, and then all this would be a lot darker. And that anyway, I tried so hard and I just couldn't make it happen.
First of all, there's a great picture of Jake after he got his head tattooed with his head down, drawing, and it's a black and white picture, but that cross is clearly glowing.
Yeah,
so cool.
It's a great fucking picture. But man, I'd labored over where to put that cross in this building. Mm-hmm. I held it up 30 places, but I chose there because you could see it from so far away.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean, that was like the best. I couldn't. I couldn't match how good it was down there.
We have width here. We don't have depth, and the depth there was front to back stations this way. Here it's stations. It doesn't. It's not the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean honestly, like the old shop, it was just dope because you'd walk in, giant Fudo staring directly at you.
Which is why that one's where it is.
Right. So it's a giant Fudo staring at you, and then it's like you have two tiny little hallways that like are literally crushed out and everything, including like all of AC stuff, and then it's like all the picture machine stuff, and then just like little trinkets everywhere. Because I'm like a fan of that. It's like, you know, a necklace here, a clock here, a Hanya mask, like a little metal piece.
Fucking
It was so like crushed.
Did you just have one of those little Jesuses next to you? Have you all seen the little rubber Jesus that are in here? Sorry to cut you off.
Are you talking about like the little like tiny dudes?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I saw one in the plant earlier.
Yeah, they're everywhere in here. I think Jake's wife like got on it, like coming sneaking and putting them in places. And yesterday I went out to dinner with I took Ripley to dinner with a couple of our friends, and their niece had one that was Jesus like what we have in here, and then another one that was and a little bit bigger with a gold robe and a sash that said God on it. And I was like, whoa, where'd you get that from? And they go, her mom got free windows from this Catholic church as long as they heard their spiel. So they got free windows on their house as long as they heard the spiel about Jesus and God.
Wow,
and
timeshare.
Yeah, and then to keep their daughter occupied, they gave her a bunch of these little rubber Jesus and God.
Damn.
And I was
rubber
like,
Jesus, dude.
If I didn't already replace the windows in my house, I'd listen to a 15-minute spiel about God and Jesus for some windows.
Yeah.
I just thought that was wild.
Rubber Jesus sounds like a cool porn name, you know?
Rubber Jesus is a good noisecore band name.
No, somebody like dropped off like a bag of those things at the shop in Jacksonville, and I remember it was all the Jesuses, but they would have like a different color.
Yeah.
Like one was yellow, one was blue, one was red, or whatever. And I was just like sitting there thinking, I'm like, you remember those old little ninjas that you could get out of like the 25? You know, I'm like, which one is the rare one? Because back in the day, it was like the red one or the white one.
Oh, I didn't know that it was like that with this.
Oh, it was. I remember as a kid, I was like, if you had a white one, it was like you showing up to school like, I got the white ninja, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
Even though you're talking about so
Yeah, spring chicken.
Yeah. You guys are old. You guys
a newborn baby over here.
It's like he's over here just looking around for the first time.
Yeah. You guys are old as fuck. Yeah. I get it. Yes.
You know what though?
I mean, we can misplace this one as well. Keep it up.
Yeah. That's fine. Fucking. It's gonna end up like fucking Epstein's records out here,
funny,
dude.
earlier Kate was like, I sent it on one time. I don't remember whose it was. Dave's like, it was mine.
Yeah. It got lost in the sauce. Yeah.
It's easy to get lost in the sauce.
No, I remember you calling me and you were just like, dude. And I was like, I remember being like, God damn it, Nick. I was like, I'm so sorry, dude. I never heard you get serious with me like that.
You were nice to me,
Yeah.
but I could tell it bummed you out.
Oh, of course.
But I was bummed out.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
You were like, out of X amount of episodes, this has never happened. And I was just like, and of course it's
since.
Fucking mine. You know, it's like.
Well, that's why I felt even worse.
You knew he was going to say that.
He's just like, it's because of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not.
It's
Look what God did to me.
Yeah.
Listen, this is the redemption episode. The only episode that I've ever not. There's two. I didn't put out 2 episodes, honestly. Capella's I lost. I mean, I didn't lose it. Rather, I erased it. And I felt like a piece of shit. The only other one that I never put out was the Civilization one. Yeah, and those dudes just got so savage and so crazy that they were like, you can't put that out.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, I can put that out. And I'm going to put that out unless at least three of y'all come and do your own individuals. So I'll get 3 for the price of 1.
Right.
And they all did.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? It was when I came up and guest spotted while you did the podcast with Will when I was here guest spotting next to him. And I remember I walked...
At this building?
No, the other one. This is...
He's going a bunch too.
You know, but it was the one where you tagged me in it, but I sat in and listened to it while y'all were recording. I think I maybe had chimed in once or twice, but... I remember walking over to Will, and he was tattooing. It was like one of Andy's, not Andy, your brother's kids, or one of the kids that came with him. Like, yeah. Right. And I remember being like, "Hey, Will, like, remember back in the day you had this apprentice up at Empire. His name was Adam, and then the kid's like, "Yeah, I got a tattoo from him," and it was like the coolest fucking tattoo. Dude, it blew my mind. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I remember seeing, because like my first tattoo I ever got was from Will, back at Empire. It was like when I was 18. Yeah, as a bullseye.
When you said it, you started fucking sure, man.
No, but it was a misfit skull, so
little crimson goose.
Yeah, no big deal. Went back later to get went back later to get the orange highlights. Not a big deal. But no, I remember asking because I remember the Adam kid, he's not a kid now, but we were all young. But I remember meeting him and being like. He was apprenticing at the time, and I remember him posting a few tattoos, and he looked like he was doing solid work. And then he showed me that, and then told me about Civilization Tattoo, and then I looked it up, and I was like, "Holy fuck! These guys kill it!" And then I hit up Adam. I was like, "Yo, dude, crazy coincidence." Yeah. I was asking about you,
I met you in '97.
I was like, "Yo, dude," I was literally asking Will about you because I hadn't heard from you in years.
What's funny is I just recorded with him a week ago.
Oh, really?
And it hadn't come out yet. And I say to him, I'm like, people say that you just emerged a great tattooer. They don't really know the time between your apprenticeship and your street shop. They didn't know about you until Civilization.
Right.
And you're already killing. And he's like, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Sometimes they don't want to see the ground. But that's how I found out about it. That's how I was sure you found out. You knew.
Well, I knew him from before, and then but I had no idea.
Exactly.
I was like, I figured,
when Civilization comes out, he's doing wild, huge Japanese stuff.
Right. But when I saw what he was doing, I was like, yo, man, I'm glad to see you're doing good. I remember hitting him up and being like, holy fuck, dude, you rip. Yeah. Because it was just so crazy to be because Will was my break into getting tattooed. So it was I'm talking to Papa, so to speak, and he's like, oh well, this kid's got this, and showing me, and then he did that Kappa or whatever that's on the inside of his leg or whatever that time. I was like, just watching Will tattoo already. It's it was that guest spot was holy shit, in particular,
Man, Adam, like I said, I just recorded with him. He had his arm tattooed, then lasered, then tattooed, then lasered, and now he's getting a water sleeve from Shinji in New York.
Yeah. What is Sakura?
Yes. It's crazy.
That's insane.
The inside, it just looks like it's sewn up. I don't even know how to explain it.
Sure.
It's just wave after 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 wave, like a seam up the middle. It is so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so much black and so little skin. And then the outside is a little more active, obviously. But man, it is fucking tough as fuck looking.
The best thing in the world about hearing that is nobody, especially as water, people have a lot, people don't know how influential Shinji is, especially his water, and how influential his work is to the people that other people are looking at.
How much he's influenced your favorite.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go through names because I don't want to I don't want to sound like I'm
make that mistake sometimes.
Yeah, I don't want to give up. I don't want people to be like, "Oh, how can you say that?" or anything like that. But
well, because you're gonna leave the one person out and they're gonna get bummed.
No, I just don't want somebody to be like, "Man, why would you say that? You make it sound like I'm biting this guy's style or whatever."
Whatever. I mean, that would be a compliment at that point.
So many tattooers that those tattooers are now that water. I can see it in tattooers nowadays. And I know where you got that from, and I know where they got that from.
Right.
Because Timothy introduced me to Shinji a long time ago, and
he told us about him 15 years ago, bro. And we were clueless.
And I was in it. Anytime I could see him, anytime I could see his work.
And Timothy was my favorite tattooer, right? That's what he was telling us. My favorite tattooer is, and we just, oh man.
Well, it's funny because right when I started tattooing, my first year into tattooing, my mentor was like, I'm gonna get my back done by Timothy Warrior. And so I got to see this thing from almost to finish. And he got a Kuan Yin on top of a dragon. and it's badass.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember like every time he'd come back, I would just be like, he would send me the photos and stuff, but it's like, you guys seeing it in person was just like, holy shit, you know? Like, I remember like the Kuan Yin, just like the pose he chose and like how he did the red dragon, like going under. It was just like, it was like, I remember looking at it and being like, I'll never achieve something like this.
Nobody will.
But it's like, I'm so glad I get to be a spectator in this, because it's like so insane, you know?
It's
Like
Timothy and Andrew, I think, have 2 episodes together. They have one where we talk about everything,
right.
and they have one where they talk about painting, and they're both cool. But one of them, I got shit faced pretty quick, and I said the dumbest thing. I've repeated this before. You know what I'm gonna say?
I can't say.
I said the stupidest thing to Timothy. You know,
Just call him the drawer?
The 2 of you guys, I'm like, I could say anything to. I'm embarrassed that I'm about to tell you that I said this to Timothy, who I love, who's my good friend.
Yeah.
Who, if I do bring it up, he like laughs it off. It's like it's not that big deal.
Yeah.
I got shit faced one time on a fucking podcast, and I said to Timothy, if you could only draw one thing for the rest of your life, would it be tigers, Kuan Yin, or space?
Yeah.
And he just went, I'm not gonna answer that. But when you said, but when I think about how many times he's done Kuan Yin,
Yeah.
and how many times it's been so perfect,
Right.
man.
He just loves that shit.
But it like I was telling him, I was like, during that time, it was like during that time when he was doing that coronal mass injection, that big.
You gotta send me those.
Yeah, I remember because like my mentor like I guess had photos of it, or I don't know how that worked out, but I remember seeing like that was during that era, you know. So that was like, Hoyer was not necessarily new to me, but he was like, in my eyes, like on fire. Like he was like, holy shit.
Out.
Yeah.
He's still wild.
Yeah, but like there was like there were so many times where like I'd revisit a painting from his and I'd be like, holy shit, like it's almost like a good album, you know. It's like sometimes you revisit things and you're just like, I was just into that because of the time, and then there's certain things you were just like, nah, that's just great, you know.
Yeah,
that
solid.
Yeah. And, you know, that's, like, how I feel about... Like, dude, like, I'm not even joking. I was going through my Dropbox earlier because I was sending a message to one of my homies about... there's, like... When I was 16, I went and saw the Murder Junkies. And Merle Allen was the lead singer at that point because Gigi had been dead. And it's, like, a picture of me, like, 15 years old with Merle Allen. You know, it's, like, stupid shit. But, like, I had found a bunch of screenshots that I had taken or, like... pictures I'd saved from Instagram from like way back in the day, and it's like pictures of Wilson's tattoos back when like Instagram was like blue and white, you know, like right when it first started, you know, and I
didn't have iPhones then.
I mean, but I don't think I did. I think I had like a fucking Samsung Galaxy or some shit.
You couldn't look at it.
That's what I have right here.
Yeah, but like,
but Instagram was iPhone Apple specific for a long time.
Regardless, I just remember having photos of like Wilson's tattoos from like before I started like actually tattooing, and I go back and look at them like these things are still fucking killer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like,
since '90.
There's about 20 back pieces in Jacksonville that are 25 years old that are fucking insane.
Dude, there's one of the guys that gets tattooed at the shop regularly. You giving up on us?
I gotta go to bed, dude. I've been up since 6:15 this morning. Dog woke me up.
Show some love.
Yeah.
Dog would not fucking take it easy on me this morning.
Like Dragon?
Of course.
I won't be in tomorrow, but I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I know. Alright, check out later.
Yeah, get Cap a hug. I like it. I like it. Fuck this motherfucker.
Long, bro. Good to see you. You need anything in the morning, let me know. If you want to grab breakfast,
Alright.
hit me up.
Alright. Yes, sir.
Go out this door.
You gonna go out this door? No, I gotta remember to lock it.
Alright.
Oh shit, man, got a key.
How else am I gonna start my car?
Hey. Think about that Pathfinder I'm out there rocking.
Dude, the first 2 days it was out there, we were like, who the fuck just parked this car back here?
Who said that?
I did, and then Trevor was like, yeah. So like, eventually Sarah was like, oh, that's Nick's rental. And to which I have not told anybody else whose car it is, and I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, does anybody, because keep parking in the same spot.
Like it hadn't moved. That's my goal.
Yeah, and so, because I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, we're going to have to call a tow truck on this.
Bro, these two girls parked back here today. They're like piercing clients, young girls, and they parked between Trevor's truck and the fucking storage building. Like they pulled way around, and I came out back and they like to hop in the old Pathfinder, and they were just fucking giggling and chatting it up. And they saw me and they took off.
He's doing drugs back here.
Yeah. Later, bro.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting to sit in with Hoary booked. It's always good.
Yeah, that's just hilarious.
The
Are you talking about the Chuck Liddell tattoo?
a Chunk Liddell. Yeah, it's funny. My little brother Rook was like, he was like, they mentioned you on the shop talk, and it's just you being like, shouts Capella, Hoary booked or whatever. And I remember hitting you up, and I was just like, they didn't even give him my best nickname. I gave him was Chunk Liddell. I just remember when I said it, you could just hear Sarah in the background just losing it. But no, what I was saying was like, you know, like there's a friend of the shop. His name's Tom. He goes by Biker Tom, but he has that biker back piece from Mike Wilson. It's like that is it David Mann, or am I getting that wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, but it's like badass. And when he put up the picture, it's black and gray.
Yeah.
When you see it in person, it's color, and it's so cool. And I remember when I met Tom, he was like, "Yeah, I got a back piece from Wilson." He just downplayed it.
Sure.
And when he showed me, I was like, "What the fuck,
Man,
dude?" Like
the rawest, dog.
Yeah, but dude, that's the crazy thing, man. Like you just like working at Inksmith, man. Like you'll see sweat tattoos come in that are just like.
Man,
impeccable.
don't get me started on Sweat, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get me fucking started on Sweat.
Yeah.
He's the best tattooer alive.
I always say he's the Chris Carver of Jacksonville. That's what I tell everybody. It's like he's so good and just like naturally that way. You know, it's like the other day I walked in.
No attachment to being that ill. Like it's very hard to explain because you don't want to speak for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just shocking how good he is. But you know, Wilson, I don't know if you've seen this tattoo, and we talked about it on a recent podcast, on a recent shop talk, so you may have seen it. But Wilson has like tattoos that are like this level ill.
That thing's so sick.
So on a recent shop talk on YouTube, y'all, there's a Steve Bolt's back piece of Christ in front of a skull with some palm tree. It's an amazing tattoo, and to me, it's reminiscent of that era Wilson.
Right.
I didn't think to say that when we were talking about it.
Right.
Because I couldn't put my finger on it at the time.
Right.
And I'm not saying Steve Bolt bites anybody. I'm really not. But
No,
man,
but dude, it's funny. Like there's in Mike
it
Bruce's
just
room.
straight up looks like a dangerous tattoo. God
No, I mean
damn,
it's
good.
tough. It's like it reminds me of those like tattoos you would see like bikers have back in like the fucking like 70s.
It's just outrageous how good
Right.
it is.
But
Steve Bolt's.
there's a painting in Mike Bruce's room from Mike, and I want to say it's like 93.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe I'm getting the year wrong, but it's like either early 90s or it's like 97 or some shit. It's like way back in its day, and it's all like, it looks like Smith Street stuff. It looks like it looks like the traditional designs that you see now that people are tattooing now, but like it looks like a big pork chop sheet of that, but it's like way dated back. And I remember it was the first guest spot I ever did. I sat in Mike's room, in Mike Bruce's room, and I just took a photo of it. I was like, every single one of these you could tattoo now.
Sure.
And it was just like so approachable, but like and it was like heavy black, like all the things that like you wouldn't expect to see in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so, but like
Mike Bruce makes me sick, by the way.
because of how good he is.
Because he won't come here and do tattoos.
He loves the podcast.
I know he does.
Yeah, he talks so highly of you, dude. Like I remember, so like
Well,
go ahead.
First of all, let me just say, there's no better tattooer than Mike Bruce. Okay, like there's certain tattooers that I put in a category of like, he might not be the best tattooer alive, but you cannot tell me a tattooer that's better than him. And Mike Bruce is one of those guys for me.
Right.
He just tattooed that rose the other day. You fucking
Oh,
said
dude.
something about it. And you said something back to me about it.
Dude, yeah. It's funny because like he does these tricks that like you would never think of until he does it, and you're like, why the fuck did I never? It'll be so simple.
It's subtle.
Yeah.
And it's gangster as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want him to do a fucking podcast, and I want him to come up here and tattoo out of this building.
Yeah.
And he won't, and it makes me sick, and it makes me mad. But with that being said,
right.
He and I have what I feel like is a very warm friendship, considering how little time we spent together.
Sure.
We have. I can't speak for him, but I have a real affinity for him as a man, as a person,
right.
As like someone who goes to work and has a family and those things, and he treats me very well. So that's part of the reason why I'm so disgusted with him, because I just want to spend more time with him.
Sure.
But I just really would love for him to do a podcast. Before we knew each other, I invited him to do a podcast, and he kind of was like, no fucking. He didn't want the smart ass, but he had a quick return. He said something to the effect of, there's no way I'm going to fucking sit down for 1 or 2 hours of my life and be judged on that for eternity. Right. And I thought, nobody's going to judge Mike Bruce. Everybody's going to just hang on your every word because you're Mike Bruce.
Right.
You're a legendary street shop guy.
Right. Dude, he's so
man,
awesome.
He treats me with such kindness and warmth when I see him.
Right.
And it matches his tattoos, which have a real, he has this license to be. You can't simplify what he does by saying it's traditional.
No, it's Mike Bruce. It's funny because it's like I was really stoked there for like last year. Every Tuesday I would fill in at Atlantic, and I'd work in Polly's room, and it was basically me and Mike Bruce doing walk-ins.
Right.
And
he would do them a lot faster than you.
Oh, of course, yeah, but I'd do them good. But no, I'm just kidding. No, but it's like honestly, during that time, I was me and Justin Jarrell were doing that Best Friends book, so I was painting a shit ton, and so was he. Yeah. So it would be me and him painting in his room. But the one thing that I love about Mike is that not only does he give you like he'll give big ups to like anybody. If he thinks somebody did something slick, he doesn't care if you've been tattooing 2 days or 20 years. Right. He'll give it to you. But I'll tell you one thing, that motherfucker will give you the most cryptic diss, and if you don't catch it, it'll catch you a year later, and you'll be like, that motherfucker was making fun of something that I didn't even see him making fun of. Like, it's so funny. I remember he would comment on something when I first got there, and I even told him that. I was like, bro, I like how you slow burned me for a year. Yeah. And like a year later, I was like, oh, that motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, this is just like a text back and forth between he and I. So I don't know if I'm not supposed to say it, but I recently asked him to come here again, and his response was, I'm going to keep declining that offer till I'm not welcome. And I was just like, cold little motherfucker.
Dude, he's so funny. But I mean, like, honestly, like
how perfect is that now?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep declining that till I'm not welcome.
I mean,
that's just the perfect no.
I mean, 100%.
And when someone, not everyone doesn't serve me up like I deserve to be served up sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So when someone does, I love it so much.
Yeah, you like the respect of like someone not sucking your dick, yeah.
Well, I don't get that a lot either. I'm not saying that.
No, but I know what you mean.
But I'm just saying that like not everybody, my close homies will burn me.
Bust on you, yeah.
But not everybody else who's adjacent or not, exactly super close does. Sure. But when someone does and they nail it, bro, it makes me so happy.
That's so funny.
I just love it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, honestly, man, like Mike is like seriously one of like, he's such a gem, dude. And like being able to have that little bit of time where I got to work with him, and honestly, we would sit outside and like just chop it up, because like it was during that year where everything had like kind of slowed down, Yeah. So it was like cool to like really get to know him, and like during that time it was me. Those days it was me, Swed, Mike Bruce, and Scotty. Yeah. So it was awesome. It was like the perfect mix. And don't get me wrong, like I love working with Paulie, and I love working with Jordan. No offense to those dudes, but it was just like we had a good time, and like the Tuesdays were really fun, and also I lived right by there, so it's like it was a no-brainer to just go in and have fun at work, and sure. When I did get to do tattoos, I was mad nervous, but I would always like
about them like standing over you.
Right, yeah, because and Mike will Bruce will sit over you, and he'll big up you in front of people, and I'm like I can't tell if it's him fucking with me or not sometimes, but then later I'm like, oh, he's just he actually likes seeing new stuff or stuff that he wouldn't normally do, or you know what I'm saying? I watched
he's in a constant flow state though.
Yeah,
his shit looks effortless.
Yeah.
And so when you're that comfortable, I think you're that comfortable.
Right.
So it doesn't take away from his shine to be like you did that.
Right. Well, but then Scotty would be like, hey, check this out, and it's just I remember he walked out and it was a butterfly, and each and every corner was a different portrait of a family member, and it's just you couldn't have done this tattoo.
Scotty did?
Yeah, Knuckles, and it's just what the fuck, Scotty? Where did this come from?
Yeah, Scotty plus some shit. Him and Paulie both. I say both of them make tattoos that look like stickers,
dude.
But sometimes Scotty will do some black and gray shit that's just come.
Well, not even that, dude. It would be dude, Scott. I don't mean to say this because it's one of my number one homies, but Scotty has a look that no one can replicate. Mm-hmm. There is a look that he does that is Scotty's, and that's the one thing that's cool about that shop. It's Jordan's tattoos look like Jordan's. Paulie's tattoo, you cannot deny a Paulie tattoo.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? You see, dude, I have literally stopped people at the grocery store and be like, Paulie Granger did that tattoo.
Oh,
and they're like, yes.
Bro, I was at a cookout in Elton one time, and this lady had a blue rose on her cap, and I was just from 30 feet away, I went, Andrew Connor did that rose?
Oh, yeah.
How did you know?
People love that, though. People love that shit, though.
That's the biggest compliment a tattooer can get.
Oh, 1,000%. Having your own style is I feel the goal.
But yeah, I mean that's great. And all,
but if if it checks all the boxes and it has that style, it's obviously you see a Mike Bruce tattoo, it's a Mike Bruce. You see a Mike Wilson tattoo. You see an Angelo Miller.
I think the best example is Danny Reed.
Danny's
tattoos look like he did them, bro, and it's looked that way for a dozen years.
Oh yeah, but also Danny has always drawn everything that he does, so it's always I've been getting tattooed by Danny since I was 18, so it's and it's cool to see the evolution, going from Empire to having his own spot, because I started getting tattooed. I got my chest piece done by him when he was still at Empire, and then got my back piece started by him when he had, I want to say he was still at his old building at Hot Stuff before he moved over to the other one. But he constantly grows, and that's the cool thing to see too. And then now I talked to him on the phone the other day. I was like, man, you got, especially in Asheville, you got to really you got a fire under your ass. And I was and especially when you got somebody like Miles working that you taught to tattoo, and that kid is crushing it. I was and now that's your lineage pushing you to work harder now. It's you taught a kid to fucking crush, so that's cool as fuck, dude,
Yeah, when tattoos have a look or a feel that belongs to a tattooer that's so obvious.
Oh, sure.
It feels good.
Well, it's like Josh Brown, when you look at those Josh Brown paintings over there, it's the one with the border that I always end up staring at. It's the cowboy skull, and then it's the border, and it's every bit of it. It's if you've lived in the North Carolina, Virginia area, you've seen a Josh Brown tattoo, and you've been like, holy shit,
shit,
yeah.
Somebody,
so good.
George just shared. Well, I guess someone had a back piece from Josh of a horse.
Right.
That came rearing up, and I guess George shared it. I guess that person was in George's shop. That's probably gone already from his story, but man, it's so fucking cool. Josh Brown's shit is so original.
Yeah, I remember me and Larry Wayne sitting there fucking geeking out over a Josh Brown tattoo back in the day. I can't remember which one it was, but
man, he did a sleeve on our old shop guy.
Yeah.
And the dude had a Trinity sign here on the inside of his forearm. And he had something on the top of his arm. Some palm trees or something. No, it wasn't that. Anyway, he had maybe 3 tattoos already.
Sure.
And he got a nurse head from Josh. And then he was just like, hey, can you just do the rest of my arm? Man, he did a crawling panther and clouds, and he took the the Trinity and made it 3-dimensional, and then did red shading behind it. Man,
Sure.
peppered red.
Yeah.
Bruh, it was bananas, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody turn something that was mediocre into incredible
Sure.
so effortlessly.
Right.
And there's something else in it too that was really ill. But anyway,
That's my favorite shit though. Is like, like when I first started getting into tattooing, it was like mostly traditional stuff and the stuff I was getting from Danny and all those dudes at Hot Stuff or Empire, and then then it turned into. Do you mind grabbing another one?
No.
I appreciate it.
You gonna drink this fucking coffee?
Apparently, but I remember seeing like tattoos. Thank you. I remember seeing
Josh Brown?
yeah, like traditional tattoos, and that was like what it was about. And then the more I got into tattooing and like started to tattoo, it was like I started really getting into like I remember it was like right before I started like guest spotting around Jacksonville, because like a lot of the walk-in stuff was like kind of hard to do, and make it look fancy. But then you would see like how Polly would do it, or you would see like how like somebody that had been like a seasoned shop tattooer would do it, and I remember when I got to Jacksonville, I was like, I really want to be like good as like, I want to do the best walk-in that these people could get,
Yeah.
So like, I remember like feathers would come in and I'd be like, I want to just fucking crush this feather. Like I wanted to pull out 2 different line weights, I want to stipple it, want to, like do all that shit. And like, and it's like, it just, you learn so much over just doing the stuff that walks through the door anyways. So it's like, if I'm going to get my practice, like I want to get it here, And then I had like,
Josh Brown's a genius at that.
dude, yeah. And like also with the simplicity of it, with that kind of stuff. It's like, it's...
Do you have a sketchbook?
Yeah, no, I bought that one. Yeah, it's so good.
70% of the stuff in there is walk-in shit that he made way cooler.
Right.
And, that's something special.
Right.
You can give them a duplicate of what they're showing you.
Yeah.
Or you can do your version of that thing.
Right.
And his version of so many of those things are just way cooler than that person could have ever imagined.
Right. Well, that was the thing. Is
Any
like
of us could have ever imagined.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Is like when I got to Inksmith, like everyone thinks that like this Inksmith stuff is like just we all just do Mike Wilson Panther heads all day.
Wrong.
Yeah, and it's not. It's literally.
Paul is my favorite tattooer down there.
Right. But also like but there's also people like like Brian Dewberry, like he is a crusher, and like there's also like Ryan that works there as a crusher, and like I'm very fortunate to have been put in the position that I was in the corner that I've been sitting in for the last 6 years, because I got to watch like people like Christian and Michael and like a few other people that like are like really good at black and gray and fine line stuff. So like, and I tried to absorb a little bit from them, and just watching how people put together a walk-in tattoo, because like if you do a really good job at a walk-in tattoo that's $120 or or whatever, that person is going to be in love with it for the rest of their lives. Now, but also there's
sell you
right,
to everybody else.
But then there's also people that just don't know the difference, and they're like, fuck it, whatever. But like,
there's people that don't know how good of a tattoo that they have, but people that looking at it are so impressed.
Sure.
That they're like, who the fuck did that?
Sure.
And they're like, this guy was some weird chubby motherfucker named Paulie.
Right.
And it just so happens to be
right.
Way above average tattoo.
Right. No, I mean
way above average.
Yeah,
tattoo.
I mean
it probably matched the knife and the sneakers he was wearing that day.
The knife.
It probably had same colors that the knife and the fucking Air Maxes he was wearing. He probably put those colors into the sunset palm tree illest surf thing you've ever seen.
Right.
That's also a cliche of Florida. That just happens to be the best tattoo that's ever been done in Florida.
I love Paulie so much. Like if there's anything that him and I used to nerd out about with sneakers, like that was like a big thing that him and I would nerd out about. But and I like my buddy Brad that he runs a little shoe page on Instagram called Duval Shoeology. He's like my homie, and he was my client like even like I want to say pre-COVID, but like he ended up becoming like a little sneakerhead salesman dude. So like now all the dudes at Inksmith like go through him to get shoes and shit. So it's like it's pretty cool, but like It's funny because like I feel like every other story it's like it's either a pair of sneakers or a knife, but it's like if you know Paulie, it's just like it's
How
like
many knives does this motherfucker own?
I like him, between him and Tony, the shop guy over there, which is the Albanian Prince of Prindle. That's his nickname, but that's my dog. He also has one of the coolest hand tattoos from Chris Garver. It's a Jesus head. He got it. He went on a honeymoon after he got married, and he got a Jesus piece on his hand. But now, granted, his hands are like the size of a fucking basketball. But it is the perfect Jesus head I've ever seen in my life, and it's on his hand from Chris Garver. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, but like, dude, it's just like
I shouldn't say this, but every now and then I just jump out the window when I'm talking about how great a tattooer is.
Right.
And to me, the styles aren't even close, but to me the level of Garver is like Philip Blue.
Right. I mean, dude, like.
The drawings are so wild. The execution is so perfect.
Right. He's good, man. I mean, I was talking to Wilson the other day about like, Wilson was telling me he was like, back in the day he was doing these like little 4x6s of like skulls and these like really simple designs. He's like they were just so perfect.
The Garver Wilson back.
Oh, the tiger? Yeah, dude, it's insane.
On, bro.
But you know who else has that too? That same combo? Fucking William Brown. He has the pin-up and dragon from Mike Wilson in the background done by Chris.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hong Kong Willie.
Dude, I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, just get Mike Wilson and Chris Garver to do your back. Fuck me. I remember being like, that's an option.
And feet are also from Wilson, I think.
His hands are definitely from Wilson. I hadn't seen his feet.
Shouts to Hong Kong Willie.
But yeah, William.
See that fucking skull and snake in my office?
It's amazing, dude.
Wow.
He did the Hardy butterfly on my throat. Will Brown is one of my.
He went from here to there.
Yeah.
When he had the boys with him.
Yeah, the mates. Yeah, well, it was funny. I was getting tattooed by Lehigh at my homie Justin Gerald's shop, True Love. Shouts to my brother Justin. I was in the middle of getting tattooed by Lehigh, and it was funny because you were talking about on the other podcast with Cohen, where it was like the triangle and the circles.
Yeah.
When you get tattooed by Lehigh, if he Sharpies it on and you go and look at it in the mirror, it's always like, I don't know what yeah, sure. But I remember they came in the minute I got done with the outline and the black.
Yeah.
And I go and look in the mirror, and I'm like, I'm so taken away. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he had done this, like, big tiger, like a weaponized tiger, like biomech-y, like on the side of my hip. And I was just like, from what I saw from the drawing versus what I'm seeing now, I was like, holy shit. Like, I was blown away. And then all of them are just chilling, and they're like, and Tim looks at me and he's like, hey, man, like, do you mind, like, if we take a little break or something? Tim's very, like, light-spoken.
Yeah. And
I was like, yeah, man, dude. I was like, I figured you're going to, these guys are probably want to buy prints or maybe even get like a small tattoo or whatever. I was just chilling for the day. And because me and my wife were getting tattooed, and she ended up getting a fucking Jaguar Blue Flame behind it.
Yeah.
I'd still be looking at it to this day just like, what the fuck? This thing is so good. But anyways, I ended up meeting that Oliver West dude that was with him. Like, and he's a crusher.
He's
but
great, man. All those dudes.
All of them, yeah. But yeah, I remember but anyways,
we had a lot of fun with those dudes.
Dude, they're so good. But we had like a little shindig over at the Riverside shop, and they came through, and and they were showing.
I was talking wild shit to Ange because I was like, I threw the boys a party. I cooked all this and did all this and da 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 da. And Ange's like, we're gonna do that down here. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna show a good time.
Yeah.
Like, anything like I did.
Well, you remember the old shop guy Drew. Yeah. He was the one. I remember you pulled me to the side. You were like, "This motherfucker is working during the 40th." I was like, "Don't." I know. I'm making sure. But like, I remember that party in particular. Drew was running the grill and he was cooking burgers for everybody. And it was killer.
When those dudes came through here, man, Will made me feel really, really good because he had been here before.
Yeah.
And he came with his wife and he did some tattoos and we did a podcast and it was great. And
I love that podcast, by the way.
he's
That's such a good one. Where he's talking about like going to China and shit.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Yeah, I know. So good.
But he came to play the game. He came to talk about his career, and some people do that, and some people don't, and there's different tones. Like the tone of some tattoo or some podcasts are like, let's just talk, and other ones are like, let me hear your timeline, let me hear your origin, and because he's from Australia, because
he has such an interesting fucking background.
I didn't know him, so because of that, I wanted the whole thing. Right. So when he brought those boys back here, like, we're fucking thrown down, and they're hanging with my boys, and we're like, the crew is kicking it pretty heavy. Sure. Lots of smoke in the air, lots of drink, lots of whiskey. Sure. I cooked a ton of fucking food. Sure. And everyone's cracking up, and I'm making fun of those boys, and they're taking it in stride. They're really laughing and loving it. Right. And he kind of pulls me to the side. He was like, "Yo, Nick." He didn't say "Yo, Nick," but he said whatever he says. And he said, "Nick," he said, "I didn't tell them too much because I didn't want to try to explain what you were going to give them. Right. But I knew that this was what you were going to give them." Right. And he was like, "That's just so important." Right. He was like, I didn't want to waste my breath trying to tell them how much they love you. Right. And man, that made me feel really, really good. Yeah. Because, he was telling me that I had delivered on a promise that he didn't have to make. Right. Which I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but he made me feel good. He made me, because it's important to me to be a good host. Sure. And he basically said to me, "You're really hosting these boys in a way that they'll never forget."
Well, there definitely is a big sports experience.
I hope so.
I'm telling you, like the first time I ever, I remember. This is going to be a little bit of a fuck you moment.
Well, we have a legacy of breaking those balls.
100%. But I remember I stayed at your house the first time I ever came and guest spotted here. And I remember I went outside, and this is back when I was smoking Marlboro Reds, and I was like walking outside to smoke, and we had been drinking all night. I was like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck is up with all these wasps in your fucking ceiling?" Yeah. And then not even 6 months later, you're like, "Yo, dude, you never seen a wasp before? Like, get the fuck over it," And then 6 months later, you do the Slim Brown podcast, and you're talking about all that shit,
freaking out.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh, cool." I mentioned something that's fucking "fuck you, grow up, pussy,"
I said the same thing to Slim.
I'm sure you did.
But he made a big he couldn't believe it.
But they weren't just wasps. They were like murder hornets.
Yeah, but
they're like this fuck. They're like the size of
docile. They were coming out from hibernation, and we were just killing them as they showed up.
I know, but I just remember because you had that side room out in front beside your kitchen.
In the country, motherfucker.
No, I know.
Are you trying to get me to break your balls or anything? Is that what you want? You want one of those moments?
I mean, I've got enough of it.
But
I promise.
Slim made a huge deal of it, and then when he told the story, we were getting trashed.
Sure.
And somebody actually did a painting of
I saw the picture. It's so funny.
Description of that.
And there was a steak on the table or some shit. Yeah, that was so funny.
All these wasps flying around my head. It's like chill, Slim.
It's so good. But to rewind to Willie, his back piece, and then that one that you just recently showed on Shop Talk. I remember, first of all, Shop Talk is the coolest shit ever. It's finally.
It finally has what it needed.
Right. Yeah, I'm so pumped, and I've been hyping it up so hard. But
you've texted me more than once, just being very kind about it, and I appreciate it.
But I've also been a fucking listener since day one, pretty much, if not within the first month. But the fucking that back piece of the tiger and the wings and the fucking drag, it's like watching two dudes. It's crazy to watch. Wilson had a vision and Chris had a vision, and then they both kind of without talking to each other create
far away from each other.
Right. Never probably had no words to each other. This guy just got it, and Chris probably texted Mike or something. It's it's just crazy. It's cool to see that, and then also it's you talk to Wilson, it's when he was just recently in Jacksonville, he turned it around and showed it to me. He's like, "Oh, dude, look what Chris did." He's like, "It did a really good job," and I love hearing that. Yeah. There's no insecurities. It's I love hearing them hyping each other up. I love hearing that.
Mike loves great tattoo.
Right. Yeah.
Even if he isn't the one that did it.
No, and that's the thing, dude. I remember one day him and I were going back. I was in the middle of me and Justin doing the paintings for the book, and you know, if you've ever done a fucking 30-page split, whatever the fuck, with a homie, you start running out of ideas after page 5.
Yeah.
So we're just like grasping for ideas.
Plus, you're overthinking it.
Oh, 1,000%. And I remember because everything that I would do, I would just send over to Wilson and Justin immediately. And I remember there was this guy that I'd found out about, and I don't know if he's like European or Roman. Fuck, he could be goddamn
European or Roman.
Yeah, he could be fucking in Oklahoma for all I fucking know.
Oklahoma.
But his tattoos are fucking sick. But I remember I referenced something that Mike had referenced, and it was the exact same tattoo. And I was just like, it was like so cool to see Mike's version of it, and I was just like, well, clearly it's better than what I did, but it's cool the fact that like I saw this guy reference something, and he thought it was cool and was like, I want to do something like that. You know, like I love seeing that, and it's like, because you know, you hear the names for so long, and you build this whole idea of who these people are, and then you're like, well, clearly everything just comes out genuine from them. And it's just all original from them, and they're like, "No, I like this. I like seeing."
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. Mike loves the game.
Yeah.
Mike loves the game, and I don't just mean tattooing. I just mean like the whole taking things in, digesting things, putting things back out.
Yeah.
Repurposing things, everything. Like, you know, I love that he'll fucking here. You know, he came here. And we weren't even close to being ready to open the shop. This new location. And he came, I wasn't even here, but all anyone who was here could wait to tell me was that Mike said, "Oh, you guys got 3 cool zones. That's crazy." Because there's 3 thermostats in this building.
Yeah.
That's what his takeaway was.
Right.
You guys got 3 thermostats in this building. You have 3 different cool zones.
Sure.
And that has nothing to do with tattoos or anything.
No, it's cool though.
But, you know, like when you look through an old sketchbook of his and he drew the fucking hotel room he's sitting in, or he drew the fucking booth he's tattooing out of, his love of design, all those things. He's in it for all that. The game to Mike is everything.
Right. Well, I mean, like that.
At least from this, you know, I don't want to speak for Mike, but.
I mean, like, you're talking about somebody that is just constantly creating, and, you know, like you know, when I first met him, it was very intimidating, and then, you know, like, obviously, and I'm sure you could speak on the same, it's like, you realize that, like, he's just a dude, you know, like, and he's a good dude, and he really cares about doing a good tattoo and, like, a good painting or whatever, but it's like, you know, like, it's so crazy to like look at some of the stuff that he's done from before, like even during the 90s versus now, and like see how refined things keep getting. And like the reason that I like seeing is because, you know, the dude's been tattooing for so long and is constantly pushing. Like I showed you the picture of D's ribs that he just got, and it's like watching him do biomech. And then, like when he was in town, he showed me something that him and Chesko had like kind of collabed on, and I'm like, this is so cool to see like these guys like.
But like Chesko and Hoyer and O'Donnell doing that stuff, and then their paths crossing just awakens it in Mike.
Sure,
Mike can do that. Mike can do it all.
Yeah, well, that's funny.
He doesn't always do it. People don't always ask for it.
Yeah,
like you talk about a weaponized tiger from Lehigh. There's fucking a dozen weaponized panther heads from Mike.
Right.
You just don't always see him.
What's funny is like one of the first times he worked, it's like Michael tattooed anything.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that like I remember him tattooing when he came to, because like for a while he would tattoo at 3rd Street, and then when that location shut down, he was going to Riverside a little bit, and then I guess he ended up over at Beach Boulevard, over being closer to his house, and one of the first tattoos he did was like a literal pet portrait of a Boston Terrier.
Yeah.
And I have a Boston Terrier, so I was just like...
He'll cry. Did you see the own painting he did for Andy?
Yes. Yeah, he said... And so, like, that was cool to see, because I didn't even know y'all were doing that, and you did a good job of keeping it wrapped up. He told me about it before, and I was just like, oh, dang, that's really fucking cool.
But we all were just going bananas for the curtain.
Right.
He was putting everything with that curtain,
Right.
and we were just hyping it.
Right.
So I didn't tell him what to do. But when I showed up, it was a curtain. I was like, oh, no way.
I told Trevor, I was like, for Richie's station, because it's all empty now, I was like, you should put a purple curtain and get a cutout of Mike Wilson and put it behind it, you know? But,
Right. So I want to show you something.
Sure.
This is not good for a podcast, but...
No, you're good.
Because no one else can see it. And I can't say who did this, and I can't post it.
Okay.
But a customer from New England...
Sure.
Came here to get tattooed, and he was like, yo, I'm going to show you the shittiest bite that you'll ever see of a Mike Wilson tattoo.
Oh my God, dude. Bro.
Not only is it like this person like tried to just do the tattoo exactly as it was.
Dude, that is so gnarly. Hold on, I gotta take a photo of that.
Now don't let this...
I won't put it out, but I gotta see it because I got a few homies that would think that was funny.
It is so atrocious.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you when we're not recording in the store.
Sure. That looks like that looks like Super Nintendo graphics.
Woo.
Bro. Anyways, but yeah, no, like it's funny because like, you know, like him and like AC has I always call him like Johnny Bag of Tricks because like there's always something you got to look for, and they'll have it hidden and they won't tell you.
Yeah.
And like they're waiting for you to see it.
Andrew, that's every tattoo.
Well, and it was funny because like he was showing me the painting he had done recently, and I'm just like,
Andrew did?
Yeah.
For the
dude, it is. There's so many things about that painting.
Did you see the one he did for the Bruno?
Yes.
Japanese monsters with books piled up.
Right. Yes. One of my favorite paintings that AC ever did was the Daruma with the coffee.
Yeah.
Because he's all like looking like he somehow painted the expression of the guy being tired, drinking the cup of coffee.
Put something in a painting, like.
Well, but he was like showing, like I don't want to like blow it up because I know it's for a project. So, but like what he showed me was pretty cool, and there was like so many different textures, and I was like, "Hey man, how big is this?" And he told me how big it is. I was like, "Oh shit, like that's awesome." But then he's like showing me, he's like, "Well, then tomorrow or yesterday I did this," and it was like this giant fucking dragon. Yeah. And it was funny because it was like right after his 30th. I had, you know, I'm in the middle of moving. And I want all of, like, in almost every guest spot that I've done here, Andrew always is so gracious and would gift me a painting. Yeah. And it's always a dragon because I always told him, I was like, I love your dragons. And I remember one day I asked him, I was like, could you please can I just watch you just doodle one? And he just was like, he pretty much drew the world's perfect dragon and then balled it up and threw it in the trash. And it took everything out of my power to not go into his trash can and pull it out later. And I should have, but I didn't.
Yeah, well, but he you know, he might have done the perfect dragon for you, but he did the worst dragon that's ever been drawn to him.
Oh yeah, well I remember
or by him to him.
Right.
If that makes sense.
You always talk about like where it's like you're saying, man, that thing's awesome. It's like, yeah, but you didn't know what I was going for, yeah. And I always think about that. And but like,
well, I mean that made me shut the fuck up a little bit.
Sure.
You know, I needed him to tell me that.
Sure. Well, it's funny because like
I thought he was being self-deprecating to some extent, and he's not.
Or like fishing a little bit, and you're like, nah, dude, like fucking.
But what he really is saying is that I'm reaching higher than this.
Right.
And that's something where the whole fucking world is so satisfied with what you've given them.
Right.
And he's like, it doesn't come close. It's a hard thing to swallow.
Dude, he's like legitimately one of the more like, you know, like some people like put on that humble face, and it's like definitely, it's like obviously like they're playing the role, like sure. They're like but like he's like legitimately
he
like
literally he says to every completion he makes, he's like, I've got work to do.
Sure, yeah, but
when
it's
he
like
finishes anything, he looks at that thing and goes, I've got work to do.
Sure, but like so,
crazy. But it's so inspiring,
dude. It's awesome.
No matter what you do,
dude. Well, so like, okay, so I have legitimately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dragon paintings from him. 2 are 20 or like giant. One of them's like on a board. One of them's a scroll. Yeah. One of them's like with orange sumi and gold. And then
that one.
It's my favorite one. It's so good. And then the other one I have of him, and you were like, I never saw that one. It was the last time I came. He had done just like some gouache on a black canvas, and it was a Sacred Heart, and it's like the best Sacred Heart you ever seen. You know, it's like so stupid, but it's like not his drawing, but it's just like, oh, you did that last night. Awesome, dude. I'll go kill myself now. Yeah. You know, but like, it was like.
I think part of him likes that too.
But no, but like, dude, so he did a monochrome white and blue dragon for me that's crawling downward, and then a sepia one going upward. I don't know if he meant to do it, but like they're the same size.
I'm sure he does.
I don't know, but either way, I
love when he breaks out the sepia.
It like literally like when I was packing all my stuff up at home, and I'm looking at my collection of just like his originals, and I'm just like, man, like it's like, you know, like over the years of tattooing, you collect a lot of like stuff from friends or like homies or whatever, and like I'm looking at these things like they're like the fucking you know, the Met Gala. I'm just like I'm like, I look at my wife and I'm like bubble wrapping them and like fucking, I'm like, yo, like these things particular don't like, these got to be put in a separate box, you know, like. But I remember you have it out there like right in front of the front, but there's like a little like dragon. It's black with gold, and it's just like a little scroll. And I remember in the old gas station, that's where it sat, and at the old shop. I remember I looked at it and I was like, yo, this is so sick. And in between appointments, he just fucking did one. And I look over at my station at the end of the day, and it's just one with rubber band rolled up, just sitting there. And he's like, you can have that. And I was just like, dude, like, it's just very inspiring to see people to just be able to do something like that and it be, like, perfect. Or also, not only that, but it's like, dude, I've never, like, he has such a huge body of work.
Huge.
And I'm like, I don't, like, other than, like, I know he takes photos of things, but I'm like, this dude.
He wants rid of it usually.
Right. But like I remember it was the last time I came, he had like a stack of things. It was like, this was lined out, this is ballpoint pen, this is oil, this is this, and I'm like, that's such an awesome way to do things, because.
But he'll also do something to get away from something else.
Sure.
So if something's oil, is so laborious that he is fucking annoyed with it.
Yeah.
Then he'll break out a pen and he'll be like, I'm gonna do this whole thing with one pen.
Right.
So this pen is exhausted.
Yeah. But then you got the fucking one of my favorite ones sitting up near your office up there, and it's the skull with the long hair and the beard and the Fu Manchu joint.
Yeah, you know.
It's like, dude, like, it's so crazy to see like all the different styles, you know, and then like.
So that thing, he did that. I fucking loved it.
Right.
I tacked it up in the shop down the street.
Sure.
And he took it down and said, I don't fuck with this thing. Put it up. Throw it away. Do something with it.
Right.
And I was like, yo, you don't take something down that I put up.
Right.
I put that up.
Right.
You don't take shit down that I put up.
Right.
So I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I hung it in my office to where when he sat across from me, he could see it out of the corner of his eye.
Right.
And I was like, so because you did that, now you have to look at it every time you come in here and see me.
Right.
And we kind of like, he was just like, oh, okay. If I do one better, will you get rid of that one? I was like, no.
Yeah. Damn.
And so now that's where it is. But
right.
Yeah, we had a little spat over that.
Yeah.
And I've known him so long that he and I go through that sometimes.
Sure. I love hearing about y'all's history. It's so interesting because it's like, you know, like coming from South Carolina.
Did you listen to the one I did by myself, or just talking about it recently?
I want to say I did, man, but like honestly, in the last like 2 weeks, everything's a blur right now. But like, because I definitely listened to your podcast. I want to say yes, I did, but like I've been listening to all the more recent ones because I try to catch up on all of them. But
like recently I'm like packing my shit and like putting it in storage. So it's just like everything's a blur. But recently the last couple ones I listened to were the Cohen Myers one. That was the one I listened to on the way up here.
Yeah.
But I love hearing about like the one that you were talking about, like getting the house, and which you've mentioned a couple of times, but like like the house that was like right here, and then like and then like
Peter, I tell a lot of stories ever.
Right. No, but I mean anybody that tunes in, they enjoy that. As a listener myself, it's like like I've been listening to this thing for what, 10 years now?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
the thing about Andrew and I's friendship is that there's times where I lead him and there's times when he leads me.
Sure.
And there's no definitive role, and we're comfortable defaulting to the other, and we're comfortable letting the other one be in front.
Sure. Well, I mean,
Both of us.
It seems like you guys have like a really good, like it definitely feels like a brotherly relationship.
Oh man,
like
I'm so fortunate to have him.
Sure.
I'm so fortunate to have him. I recently did a Nets podcast, and I said on there that when I first bought Alley Cat, I've been here. I'm the only one that's been here since day one.
Right.
But I didn't own it from the gate.
Right.
And so when I bought it, he had a falling out with the previous owners, and he had his own private studio.
Oh, you were talking about where it was like in the basement and it was like real punk rock, or like I remember hearing
that's in Roanoke. He had a private studio in Roanoke. But downtown he had one called Sanju Hachi, and
that's sick.
Yeah, and it had the only thing that if you knew what was up, you could tell that a tattooer painted the mailbox, the numbers on the mailbox. That was the only thing. It had no sign, no phone, no hours.
Okay.
It was just him, just pirate like a motherfucker. But when he came back, a lot of my credibility came from the fact that he worked for me.
Sure.
I shouldn't say for me, but he worked here.
Sure.
And that was like, wow, that's big of you to say that. And I was like, to not say that would be dishonest.
I mean,
to not, if I let that go unspoken, would be dishonest, because he was not only known but was on a trajectory with like this certain, what's the word I'm looking for? He was in a class of tattooers that have now taken over. Like, he was rubbing elbows and working convention circuits with Kavna, Bruno, Rubendahl, Dorsey, Soner, Crowfoot,
shout out.
Fucking, like these dudes, BJ Betts, like they were all peers, and they were doing the convention circuit simultaneously and one-upping one another, and they were doing collab. Andy would do a split with Dorsey, Andy would do a split rip panel with Bruno.
Right.
They were just all pushing each other.
Right.
Jay Chastain, like all of them, they're part of this class of age-wise and era-wise.
Right. That's fucking.
And Andrew, when I met Brian Bruno, he's like, Andrew's told me about you before. Andrew says you're something like a player. Andrew says this, Andrew says that.
Right.
And they were already had a solid friendship.
Right.
When I met him.
Right.
And so, a lot of my credibility came through the fact that I got a cosign from Andrew. And then as time went on,
right,
a lot of my credibility came from other cosigns I got through Hoyer, through Bruno, stuff like that, And, now that people realize that I've been in the game for so long, I think I have my own credibility. But there was times where I needed Andrew for that.
Sure.
And he was just like, that's my dog.
Right. No, I mean, it's always cool.
We're so different.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny though, but I mean, like, homies will take you a long way, man. I mean, like, like I was saying earlier, it's like, like you didn't let me start working here because I was such a great tattooer. It was because I knew some of your homies, and I believe me, like,
there's nothing wrong with that if you're you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it, like, honestly, like, it coming here before, this was Inksmith before Inksmith, if that makes sense. Because I got to come here and see AC, Porter, you know, and this is pre, you know, it was during the Richie era, but this was also pre-Jake. This is, I mean, like, also, I mean, fucking Jake is, like, such a crusher now. Like, I can't say such enough.
Hard-working motherfucker, bro.
And with such a great attitude,
yeah,
you know, like, and also he's a fellow Seinfeld guy.
Yeah.
And I saw the fucking pirate shirt sitting by the fucking line drawing area.
It was a walk-in and just landed on it.
I'm so pumped to hear that it landed on him.
And he has Serenity Now tattooed on his collarbone.
That's so sick.
He does. He has Serenity Now tattooed on his collarbone.
Oh, dude, Festivus for the rest of us,
yeah,
bro.
Shouts to Nick at Classic Tattoo in Richmond. He did a Seinfeld sheet for me a long time ago.
So sick. But no, but you know, like, I remember it was Nate hit me up, and I was like, I can't remember what I was doing, but he was like, hey, Nick asked for one of us to cover or whatever. He's like, but we put your name in. And I was like, okay. He's like, he's going to call you. And I remember, like, just you calling me, and I was just so fucking nervous because I was, like, such a fan. And one of the first things you did, you were like, you've been listening to the podcast? I was like, yeah. And you're like, what size you wear? And then, like, 3 days later, a shirt shows up in the mail. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it was the Josh Brown one. It was the Eagle, my favorite one. Yeah. So, it's one of my favorites still to this day. Yeah, but, you know, coming up here is, like, you know, seeing, like, there's always that one experience in a tattooer's life that, like, changes them. This is one of those places for me. Inksmith is another one of those places for me. Empire is one of those places for me. Yeah. Hot Stuff is one of those places for me. And, like, where, like, really, like, you go in and there's, like, just magic just, like, bouncing off the walls.
You know, you talk about spending time with Porter, staying with Porter when you're up here. When you met Porter, this motherfucker, you know, he's doing suits now.
Right.
So regularly.
Yeah.
Full suits on people.
Yeah.
You see that fucking dragonfly he's working on?
Dude, it was funny because, like, I walked over to him, you know. Dude, it's so good. But I kept on walking over, and I was just like, that's how you're going to do it?
But when you met him,
dude, it's so good.
When you did that first spot,
dude,
he was doing 6 to 10 tattoos a day. And out the door, bro. Just
yeah.
Pow, 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 pow.
I remember.
I've said this a bunch. He's done more tattoos than a lot of 30-year tattoos.
No, but the thing about him, though, is what I enjoy about him is that he's never really in a bad mood. I will say that, like, he can get sensitive, sure. No, look, okay. Yeah. I've been around long enough to... No. Like, I get it. But, like, when it comes to his work, he puts the best effort forward.
Oh, yeah.
He does the best tattoo possible in the situation.
His tattoo can take him out of his mood. Take him out of his bed.
Right. So, but, like, even earlier, like, he did, like, this little cardinal on a branch. He was like, yeah, I remember you saying that this reminded you of your Mimi because you did a cardinal when you were here a long time ago. And I was like, holy fuck, do you remember that? Like, holy shit. But, like, one of the honest, like, and I hate to say it, but, like Trevor is, like, one of the most slept on, like... Like, one of my favorite tattooers...
He's just now starting to put, like, one thing out every 2 months.
Dude.
He's put nothing out for 5 years. But he's starting to put a couple things on Instagram. Trevor's so goddamn good.
Dude. It's so
shocking,
bro. But he's also...
And he's got sleeves and back pieces of crazy shit that no one will ever see.
Dude, it's so insane. Well, he was working...
just out there in the wild, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, but it's like, dude, like, I remember one time I'd come, and it was when he was in that back right corner of the old shop. And he was just working on a sunflower and a snake or some shit like that. And, like, just the way he was doing, like, the core of the bud of the sunflower. And it was just, like, everything made sense. And it was, like, he was, like, basing it off of, like, an actual sunflower. But the way he was tattooing it, it was, like...
Like the textures?
Right.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like that. Like, because to me, I'm just, like, circle, black, shade, you know, like, at the time, you know. And it was just, like, seeing, like... a way of tattooing that's like, oh, like, these people are coming to here for ideas. They're not coming because they want the world's greatest tattoo. Well, maybe they do, but, like, they just want a sunflower tattoo. They just want it to look
Their
good.
expectation is lower than what they...
And, dude, but like, do you understand how many people in Harrisonburg are walking out of the shop with, like, fucking gold, and they have no idea how good... Like, he was doing a fucking skull and snake earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, dude.
The panther on the girl's belly?
I didn't see that one.
This Latina girl who had just like a fucking name on her stomach, pretty big. Like, you know that like some folks, the way their anatomy is, like she's not petite, but her ribs, like her bottom of her ribs sort of comes over, protrudes a little bit. She had a name right there in Old English letters, and he's just putting a fucking leaping panther, but it's like from just below the shoulders up, so it's just like head and front claws.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't get to see that one.
She just walked out of this motherfucker like, I'm gonna go back to the hood and flex on these punks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, man. And when those people come back,
right,
I make a point to go up to them and say, hey,
right,
people that are seeing your tattoos they have never seen tattoos like that, right or wrong. And they're like, yes. I'm like, tattoos like that aren't walking around, yes or no? And they're like, people are blown away at my tattoos. And I'm like, yeah, you have something special. Shit like that is not walking around every day.
Right.
You have something that's exceptional. And I don't say that because I'm trying to further the legend of Alley Cat. I say that so that they know that they have something that's better than most.
It's special. Yeah. No, I mean, like
the people, but I'm not saying this right, but they have tattoos that when people see them, they are shocked.
Well, and then when they go get that tattoo, they're like, why didn't mine come out like that? Correct. You know what I'm saying?
They've just never seen a tattoo like that.
Right. You know, and that's...
Trevor and Richie and Jake and those dudes do those tattoos that are shockingly good.
Yeah. Well, and then, like, it's like the, like, for instance, like, in Jacksonville, that town just, like, it just, like, oozes talent. Like,
well, it's like Richmond. It's like there's so much good tattoos there.
It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, like, I'm not going to go through all the lists, but, like, like, it's just insane. But, like, even right down the street, I'm going to mention him a million times with my brother Justin. He, True Love Tattoo, he fucking, like, him and Juan, which is his business partner, do some of the fucking coolest tattoos that I've ever seen, and they're literally 4 miles down the road, and it's like, so like, I'm like, I remember when I first got there, I was like, I'm low guy on the totem pole. It was January of fucking 2020, so it was like pre-COVID, like right before COVID. I'm like, I gotta like prove that I'm like, worth being here, or whatever. And then I'm like looking down the street, I'm like, God damn, like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm not just competing with everybody that eats with the Riders.
I'm competing with Jacksonville. Holy shit. And not only am I competing with Jacksonville, I'm competing with fucking St. Augustine. Fucking, but, like, straight up, like, that just came through.
Ooh. Wow, that's ill.
That's insane.
Is that Mike?
Yeah.
Obviously.
But like, I remember being so like Scotty was the one that like pulled me to the side and was like, hey man, like you gotta stop like beating yourself up so much. And that was like the hardest, like, cause like, dude, like I remember
he wanted you to get comfortable. And it's hard to do that if you're just.
I still have that bone. Like I just cannot be satisfied with something that I do. Like
you hate me though.
Well, but that's how it is, though. It's just like I can't.
A lot of you pricks hate yourself.
Yeah, but I wish I could be as cocky as you. But like
everybody does.
Yeah, I'd probably sleep well at night.
And it's good looking.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I wish I was. No, but it's like not only being thrown into a lineage that is just like impeccable.
Sure.
And being put in a town that is just like so like where I learned to tattoo at. I learned to tattoo in Spartanburg, South Carolina, in at Honor and Glory Tattoo. My mentor is Adam Duncan, and I was already in that part. I was under Adam, Mikey Holmes, and Devin Burnett, so the shadow was already casted.
Yeah, some hitters.
Right. So then after that, I go to Legacy. I'm dealing with Nate, Larry.
People sleep on Larry, bro.
No, Larry's Crusher, bro. Crusher. That's my brother, and I love him to death. Him and I don't want to get the shop names wrong. I want to say it's like Ghost Pines, out in I don't want to get it wrong, but him and his wife have a shop that he works at now. But he's still doing, if anything, he's doing the best tattoos he's ever done now, and he like still one of my favorite people to this day. But like going to work at Legacy, it was like learning under Nate, then learning beside D and Larry, and like it was just like, not only that, these guys would fucking do the coolest tattoo you ever seen, but then pick up a guitar and just sing the most sad song you ever heard that would fucking pull all your heartstrings.
Yeah, a bunch of sad boys.
Oh my god, dude! But like, dude, like seriously,
he played that show here recently. He was like, as soon as he came to the mic, he's like, so Nick already called me out earlier, said I'm gonna do a bunch of sad boy stuff. That's what I do, and then he's fucking cursing.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. Yeah, but dude, like I was
shouts to Nate.
Dude, Nate Hall, that's my fucking dog, dude. Like like that is like all the Legacy boys that are still there and that I consider, you know, like I mean, like Legacy is part of my life, dude, and that is my home, you know, like, and I'm indebted to Nate for the rest of my life for everything because if it wasn't for him, Inksmith would have never been an option. If it wasn't for him, this would have never been. You know,
let me just say this has never been said prior to what I'm about to say.
What?
Nate Hall is like the Pee Wee Kirkland of fucking of that. He's a legend in 2 games, right? Like Pee Wee Kirkland. You know what I'm saying? He's a legend in music. He's a legend in tattoo.
The thing about Nate, though, this is the thing about Nate.
You gotta admit,
no, 1,000%.
Never been said before.
Never been said, but it is like
the Pee Wee Kirkland.
Goddamn, 100% correct. Nate is one of those people that when you meet him, and if you've never met him, and you get to talking to him, you feel like you've known him your whole life.
So easy going. He's the best.
Oh, dude. But, like, not only that, like, him, his wife, his family, like, everything about his aspect, like, the shop, the people, like, he keeps around. I mean, like, Nate is, like, literally one of my favorite people on earth, you know? And, like, literally, straight up, like, one of my favorite experiences was coming to Guest Spot and like literally seeing him and Old Heavy Hands play. It was like so enamoring. It was like, holy shit, like this is what I'm getting into. And that's why me and my wife and my kids moved to Greensboro, because I was like, holy fuck. And then like now because of that, even my wife still considers Greensboro home, you know. But I was even telling Dee the other day, I was like, you know, like that time on McGee Street, like we like had like this little golden slice of time with tattooing and just like broing it down, you know. Sure. And it's like, you know, like it's like one of those like super memorable spots that like no matter what, it's like all of like my formative times came from there. But it was like Nate gave me the opportunity to travel and learn and give me like the push to like, hey, like you want to learn this? Go fucking figure this out.
Well, Nate's not threatened by anybody, and he understands the power of freedom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you know, so many shop owners like have this desire to control everything.
Right.
And they don't want you working for somebody else. They don't want, you know. And Nate understands the power of letting you go and come back and bring something back with you.
Right.
You know, he embodies freedom in his own life, and he wants that for everybody.
But he's also not only that, but he is also just a good person. He's a good tattooer. I mean, he's a crusher. Like I hate to like. I don't want to talk him up too hard because if he ever fucking listens, he's a piece of shit. But he gave me the opportunity. Like when I got there, he was like, "Hey man, like you ain't got to explain nothing to me." He's like, "You come in, you do your job. You know, you come in on the days that you work, and you know, just let me know if you got to leave. That's all I ask." You know, and it was so sick. And then he put me in connections with you. Like he got me in connections with Swed. Like you know, I mean, these dudes really. I mean, like. In Greensboro, you got to be a certain cut of the cloth, and like.
Bro, I was going to Greensboro in 1997.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro, I was going down to tattoo shops.
It was you when you were selling jewelry.
Yeah, from running up to Greensboro was like the first. That's the first town that Troy would send me to. Just like go down there and you pay.
You're going down to Little John's.
Yeah. And a handful of other shops.
Did you ever go by there when Little John was there?
Bro,
I remember you telling me a story.
I know Little John. Like, well, I knew before he passed, but I spent time with John.
Yeah. I remember you telling, was it the story about Tommy fucking replacing his fucking his PA in front of you or something?
No, John did that.
Okay, it was John. Okay, yeah.
Tommy said, "Hey, John, Nick's got this piece of jewelry you've been looking for." And he just showed it to him in the package. You know, it's like in a clear bag, but it's got like a captive bead insert in it, so the size and all the shit. And John fucking comes back there, looks at it, unscrews the ball, puts it in his mouth, pulls his dick out, puts a bunch of spit on the fucking thing, and shows it through his PA. Yeah. And then screws it. I'm just like right there.
Yeah. You're just like, nice,
and
man.
I go, yo, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And Tommy goes, oh, yo, Nick, chill, bro. And John looks at me in the fucking face, and then turns around as he walks away. He goes, Tommy, pay this motherfucker, and throws his hand up like,
oh man,
pay this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
R.I.P. Tommy.
What the fuck was that? Tommy's like, don't say nothing to John, man.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing to John.
Damn. Yeah, R.I.P. Tommy, man. Like, it was funny because, you know, like Charlotte, when I was like the one thing I will say that like my mentor did really good about was that he put me in connections. Like we would go everywhere, conventions, guest spots. Like if he was going on a guest spot, I'm going on a guest spot with him. Yeah. You know, and like I was even talking to my homie Scott that I work with, Denhalter, and I was like, I remember when my mentor did a guest spot at Port City in Wilmington, and he took me with him, and that's where I met. Like I still know all these motherfuckers to this day. And I remember meeting, one of my favorite memories is I pull up to Ace Custom with my mentor, and that's when little Tommy was working. I never met him before in my life, and like he's from Sugar Tip, which is like right behind where I'm from, which is like I was living in Moore at the time, so it's like we're not too far from it as far as like we know like our type of people, but I'm in Charlotte, so I don't know, like. And I pull up, and I'd been driving all night. I think we were coming back from Ohio or something like that. I've been up for like over 19, 20 hours or some shit. And I remember I'm like in the shop, and I yawned. And he's like, what, there ain't no fucking Xbox 360 in here? You fucking bored or some shit? And I looked at him, and I was like, what the fuck? And Adam was like, hey man, like just chill, like he's just busting your balls. Yeah. And I was just like, what? And he was just like, oh, I'm sorry that the tattoo shop's too fucking boring for you. Yeah. And I look over at him, and he's just got this giant shit-eating grin on his face. And I was like, okay. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was the first word spoken, but then after that, he was the nicest guy.
Tommy was sweet. He was one of the first people to, like, every time I saw him, insisted on hugging me and telling me he loved me.
Sure. Yeah.
But he was a sick fuck too. And, I had a thing where I still maybe do, but, if somebody knew I didn't like something, they just didn't push it.
Right.
And Tommy was a sick fuck, and he knew that I wasn't. I don't know how else to explain it. But the rest
there's certain shit you didn't fuck with. And
the rest of the story will explain it for me. So I brought my buddy Adam with me one time, and Adam didn't own the jewelry company at first, but his brother and his dad bought into the company. Right. And his brother, to this day, is one of my dearest friends. I mean, we're close, And I take Adam with me to go sell to Tommy. And they had like a booth in there in the shop that was like a booth in a diner or something, right?
Sure.
And so we sit across from him, and Adam sits on one side, I sit on the other side, and I've got the jewelry over here, and Tommy has a laptop, but for some reason he's like looking through inventory and fucking with something. This was like 98, 99. It was a long time ago. It was clunky, what he had.
Sure.
And he's like fucking with it the whole time. And I'm thinking he's like looking at the inventory of what he has, but he's actually pulling something up.
Sure.
And then he fucking turns just in the middle of me pulling out jewelry and going through stuff. He turns the laptop to Adam, and it's this guy fucking a chicken. And it's destroying the chicken. It's killing the chicken. There's blood and chicken shit.
What the fuck?
And it's just the nastiest thing that's ever been seen on film. And he shows it to Adam, and Adam erupts out of the chair and is really fucked up over it. Like, it's just like never seen it like that.
Right.
And of course, no normal people had.
Right.
And Tommy just thought it was so goddamn funny how Adam reacted to it that he just couldn't stop laughing.
That he had just fucked his entire world up? Yeah.
Yes. And Adam was just like, this is fucked up, man. What the fuck kind of place you bringing me to? And I was like, well, Tommy's actually a real sweetheart. You just gotta relax. And he was like, did you see the fucking... Yeah. No. And you know what? Tommy won't show it to me either.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. Yeah,
dude,
it was fucking hilarious. It was disgusting, but it was also very funny.
Right. Yeah, it's like... it's funny because, like, I feel like, man, like, a lot of that, like, kind of... That type of shit just don't happen anymore. It's like I feel like that...
well, it's just him just being silly, knowing that some... Like, me and Adam, like, to us, porno was just like a man and a woman having sex.
Right.
But Tommy knew about the dark world that was out there. And he wasn't afraid of it.
Right. Well,
we were.
Right.
We were afraid of that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, I didn't, I came into tattooing obviously a lot after that. So, like, a lot of, like, because you're old as fuck. Yeah. Because, Mr. Spring Chicken over here, apparently. But, the fucking, it's funny that you're calling me Spring Chicken. I'm, like, 35 fucking years old, and I'm, like, 11 years into the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like...
I mean, I'm 25 into the game. So
but I mean, I am a spring chicken to you, but it's like, like, you're talking to a 35-year-old male that's as gray as you.
Fresh.
Yeah. I'm just born.
Like a newborn baby, bro.
Well, honestly...
It's like a talking baby. I'm sitting here and I see, like...
Yeah, you're just like diaper...
A tiny baby with a bib on.
Yeah.
I can't believe that it can articulate words.
Yeah, dude. I'm just saying, like, But, it's funny that you say that, though, because it's like... it wasn't until, like, the last couple of years that I felt like I'm like, oh, like I just, like, I feel like I just started tattooing. If that makes sense. It's like, I figured, like, I learned all this shit.
10 years ain't that long.
It's not, really, like...
And frankly, you're... To just be 10 years in, you're better than you should be.
Oh, I really appreciate you saying that. But, like, it's like, for me, it was like... I got put in positions where I was around people that were really pushing.
That's
shit.
why you're better than you should be.
Well, again, I appreciate it, but, like, it's like...
You don't get any credit for that, bro. It's just the rooms.
No. Hey, look, I'm okay with that,
It's just the rooms that you've been in.
Listen, like, I'm the shit. Fuck everyone else. No, but, like, no, for real. Like, like, when I got to see, like, really cool extremes, like...
Sure.
Like, Mikey... was like pushing like really clean traditional stuff. Devin was pushing that real illustrative stuff. Like, he was like Bruno favorite. I remember me and him sitting together and being like, if I could ever fucking tattoo like Bruno. It's like that was like one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, to me, like, everyone likes Brian's Japanese. To me, like, my favorite shit from Bruno was like that illustrative, like, traditional shit with like, like the girl holding the mirror and like the girl with like the snake wrapping around her tits and shit. Like, like that stuff to me, I was like, that's like traditional. Or like the eagle with the hot stuff on it, insane, banana. Or like that. There's that one tattoo, you can Google it, because like if you type in like Brian Bruno in Google, there's this one tattoo that pops up. It's like this aviator girl with like this like fucking plane and shit. Like all it's insane. But then I worked with Josh Bove, and he was doing like laser clean tattoos, and then it's like, then I'm working with Nate, who's doing like really illustrative stuff, and then it was like my homie, and I don't know if you remember Brandon Monday, but like that dude really, like, I actually got to sit down with this dude and like have him like show me fundamentals of drawing.
Sure.
So it's like, I just got lucky, dude. Like, I straight up just got lucky and put in positions of like, I got to see all these dudes really pushing. I got to learn from these dudes pushing because I'm behind them. And I'm not saying cast in their shadow in like a resentful way. It was just like, bro, like there was not enough room in the room for everyone. Like, y'all two are obviously taking off. It's like, and including my mentor, like he was pushing real hard at that time. It was like everyone at that time was just like pushing,
that's what makes great tattooers. That's what separates, like, people who tattoo and people who live to tattoo.
Right.
It's like you have to be around people that are, I'm not trying to overstate the room here, but the room here comes for you. everybody's coming for each other at Alley Cat.
Right.
They're all pushing.
Sure.
And if you're not pushing, you'll get not only get left behind, but you'll get laughed off. Like, you have to try harder.
Every tattoo that was done today in every station but mine was like insane. Like, it was.
And they all have to perform at that level. Why do you think Porter left this fucking podcast? He's exhausted because he's required, in addition to the fucking 50 hours he's tattooing in a week, right, he's required to draw another 10 or 12 hours at home.
Sure.
And if he doesn't, he can't compete.
Well, he also did 3 tattoos, a color study, and a drawing. Like, it's like, in the time that it took me to do fucking 3 walk-ins. Yes. You know, it's like, you know, like, me and Porter are real close, and, like, I know I bust his chops real good, but, like, I respect him so much as a tattooer, and we're so close to the point where it's like, I almost, like, don't give him his flowers. I feel
his
like
tattoo persona and his homie persona are different.
But also his tattoo persona isn't, like, something that overrides his, like, he's definitely, like,
he doesn't take himself too seriously. He takes what he's doing very seriously.
Right, yeah. But also, if you were to ever chime in and be like, I think, like, even today, he's asking me, like, hey, what colorway would you do this butterfly? I have it shaded this way on the left side and this way on the right side. Yeah. And I said, well, to me, I like this side. Yeah. And he said, I'm going to try it out. So he tried out both ways. And he's like, you know, I think I agree with you. I think that side looks good. But, like, he's putting in work, and it's like, to see him, somebody that's also a veteran, that's been doing it way longer than me, that knows way more about me, the fact that he even cares about what I think, it's like, that shows true, like, he's not asking me what I think because he actually cares, like, what David thinks. He wants to see, like, is there something that I'm doing that I'm not seeing?
Yeah, he wants your eye as a tattooer.
Right, exactly. He's like, because, like, it's so easy when you're looking this close at something right in front of your face to miss something so simple.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's funny because, like, I remember the first time that Wilson came to Beach Boulevard before he had, like, it was like right after COVID, and or maybe it was a few months after. Regardless, I remember there was, like, I was doing a crawling mountain lion on this guy's half sleeve, and I was like, well, who else better to ask than Mike about a cat, you know? And he just did, like, 2 things different. And it was, like, the simplest things. And it was one with a tail and one with a claw.
Yeah.
And it was, and also a suggestion.
Yeah.
And it was, like, literally it changed my life as far as, like, looking at something different, you know? And, like, and even, like, Porter today, looking at, like, the way that he did. First of all, I was looking at the dude that he did the front arm, looking at his legs that he did, which is, like, so nice and so dense and so, like, every color in there looks like melted crayons. Then I'm looking at his feet, and I'm like, I'm looking at 3 different eras of Porter, and I'm like, all of them are good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, and he was, like, telling me, like, he's being so humble. He's like, yeah, I was looking at this Mike Roper Dragon, but, you know, I'm like, dude, like, shut up. Like, these are fucking sick. Like, you don't have to, like, downplay yourself. Like, these are really nice tattoos. And he's like, he actually, but the one thing that I did love is that he said that I looked down at his leg, he had this, like, quagmire bursting out of this, like, skin rip, and he's like, he actually wanted that on his neck, and I convinced him to do, and he's like, showed me all this cool shit he did on his
spiders and crazy shit. Yeah.
And I was like, well, I think you kind of talked him out of a good idea, man. Like, quagmire on his neck would have been pretty fucking sick, but you know, I mean, like, it's always really cool. I mean, like, honestly, man, like, always coming here is, like, super refreshing because it's like you get to watch people be regular dudes and do really killer tattoos.
Yeah.
You know? And,
like, as like, between the podcast and now the news show,
yeah,
like, you know, people are aware of us, but then you have to come here to really.
The magic is in the building.
You know, man, I was talking to Andrew Storrs today, and he was like, man, Alley Cat's such a hub for so many people. And, you know, you try not to overthink that but, man, it really is. Like,
right.
A lot of great tattooers come through here on a regular basis, and it feels really good.
Right.
And,
but you've been like that for years, though.
But,
right?
yeah, but they don't, those guys don't have to be here.
Right.
For you to come here and feel.
The funniest thing about it is that, like, I've only ever come here, the only person that I've ever came here that was in the middle of a guest spot was Will Lolly.
Yeah.
But, like, every time I've ever come here, it's just been the crew.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but you can get that feel with just the crew.
With just the crew, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, like you can look at like, and I'm not downplaying like Hoyer or Lehigh or Wilson or any of those dudes because obviously they're my favorites, but it's like Alley Cat has its own vibe, and it's not because of anybody but the people that put in work here. You know, it's like you know, I hate that Richie left. You know, now granted, I hope he's doing good or whatever.
Yeah, we love Richie, man.
But like,
no one's ever left on better terms.
Right. Yeah, except for I'm pissed off about it. So you know, I'm what is it? I'm inconsolable.
Yeah, inconsolable.
You know? Yeah, I you know, it's mainly because I needed a place to stay. So fuck you, Richie. But no, but it's like, you know, like you see, every booth has something to offer. You know, and like Jake is pushing shit. He's doing his like paint set shit, and it's like cool. Yeah. Richie was always going into seminars and like learning about drawing and like. You know, he was like, he's very OCD about certain things, and it's like, you look at what Trevor's doing, you look at what Porter's doing, and it's like everybody has the season. It's like the seasoning's there, you know, and then also you have like the typical, you know, like you got.
They're all chasing Connor. They're all like looking at Connor being like, fuck.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, man, is like, you know, like I'm guilty of somebody that found out about Connor through the podcast.
Yeah.
But
that's all right.
No. But that's like, you know, in my top 5, he's in there. You know, but I'm also of the school of like, I'm not gonna like sit there and like overly suck his dick. But it's like,
but you're friends with him. You know,
yeah.
You can be a friend of someone and be fully aware of who they are and their impact.
Sure.
And so like that, you know.
But also the one thing I love about AC is that like. You can sit there if you sit there and like actually show concern or like genuine like you're being like inquisitive of like how the fuck did you do that? He'll actually sit down and talk to you about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one of my favorite things. And like when you start getting him to talk shop about like something that he did that he's excited about, it's like that dude's been tattooing for 30 years. And
it's an insight that, you know. He's not someone that you can easily pick his brain.
Sure.
But if you, like you said, if you get him talking about something that he's excited about, he'll show you the process in a way that it will blow your mind.
Right.
Like you don't understand it.
Yeah.
And then he'll lay it out for you, and you still don't know what you just saw.
Oh my God, that's what he did with the dragon with me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's the king of that, and you know he's seeing it. Man, his mind is fast.
Right.
And that's why he stays so busy.
I remember one of my favorite things that I ever said to him, because, you know, like, I'm always trying to fuck with people. I was like, hey, Andrew, like, how much money would I have to pay to not be able to paint for a week? He was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's like...
You could pay not paying for a day.
Dude, it's just so cool to, like, there's certain people that, like, do it for the sake of, like, you know, it's... There's an inspiration behind it because it's like there's one aspect of it where it's like, especially nowadays, it's like that dude's obviously like fronting. Like, you know, like you'll hear people like, I couldn't go blow. It's like, I know for a fact right now AC's probably at home doing something super sick.
But he would never say that. It takes you saying it
right
for him to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right, exactly.
He would never say I couldn't go a day without paying.
Right.
That's a given to him.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, but the reason I know that type is because the way AC is the same way that Devin was when I was learning to tattoo. Devin, I remember one time I'm like driving, we're driving to Richmond for him to do his guest spot, and he's painting in the passenger seat.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like looking at him, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he's like, I'm just painting. And I'm like, okay, like, but he's one of those people that if he can't create, it's like something goes.
Well, his mind's just flying by through space,
right?
And it calms his mind to be focused on something,
right? Yeah, it's just cool, man, because it's like, you know, like I don't know what, you know, category of tattooer you put that type of person in. You know, like I try as hard as I can to be productive. You know, like I try to put out as much as I can, like, you know, to either give back or like, you know, like I had done like the line drawing book, which you said like I have an infinite amount of, and like I still got like back stock.
Yeah, he's
like
never,
1,000
he's never
copies.
printed again, but there's 30,000.
Never be printed again, but you could buy one right now. No, but then like, you know, like me and Justin did that book, and then like I was doing like prints, and then I was doing like shirts, you know, like I'm always trying to do something to keep myself busy, you know, because I feel like that's my duty as far as like doing something extracurricular outside of tattooing that keeps me like loose or like not burnt out, you know, like, and that was like one of the hardest things of like in the last couple of years is I actually felt that first burnout because I was just like working. That's all I did.
They say 10 years is when that happens.
Angelo was the first one to tell me. He was just like, you got 10 years blues. And I was just like, I don't know. Because I was just like bummed at not only.
Well, you look at what you've done and you don't think it's enough. You look at where you're at and you don't think you're good enough. It's a real thing.
Well, it was also on the type, it was just like, man, like, I'm just waking. It was like Groundhog's Day. It was like, I'm just going to work, doing the tattoos. Don't get me wrong, I'm like trying to do my best version of them, but it's like, you know, I'm like looking at like down the street. I'm like looking at the guys what are doing down there, and I'm like, my shit's not good as that, you know, or I'm like doing the bad thing, which you should never do is compare.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you should always try to do your best. And of course, if you compare, you're going to find somebody that you're going to put yourself up against. So you're going to be like, well, obviously it's not that good.
Yeah, you can't measure up to certain folks.
Right. It's
but those folks can't measure up to others.
Right. But like, it's like, you know, like I'm sure certain high tier people look up at like, you know, Phil Blue, and they're like,
absolutely.
You know, like I remember it was a long time ago. Somebody was just like, hey man, like, just don't look backwards. They're like, you know, like when you're doing a tattoo, they're like, I can't remember exactly. So it was probably like some fucking, you know, it was an older head that said it, but they were just like, hey, like, don't look backwards at your stuff or somebody else's stuff or whatever. Just keep pushing. And it's like, if you look back at your stuff, you're going to obviously be content if you push, but it's like, the more you look backwards and look at what you've done or what other people have done, then you're going to be content then of what you're doing now. He's like, look forward, try to do better than you're doing now. And that was one thing that always like pushed me. It was like, I remember like, you know, like I'll do a tattoo and I'll get bummed about the result of it being like, I wish I would have done this, or like I'd see a tattoo later and then now all of a sudden I'm bummed about the tattoo I just did.
Yeah.
I'll be like, damn, I wish I'd have done that. And then the next time I get a chance to do the tattoo, I do it like that. But then it's like, that is a continuous cycle.
Yeah,
so it's
then
like,
once you've done that, you're like, it was short here.
Right, exactly. So it's like one of the things that I found is like a little bit more consoling as far as like tattooing goes. It's like, no matter what, you're going to try it. Like if you really do care, you're going to try to do a good job.
Yeah.
If the client likes it, that's one. That's awesome. That's a good checklist, you know. But like the other thing is like, you know, maybe the reason that you're not as stoked about it is because you're not pushing for what you know. You're pushing for something you don't. And that was like one of the biggest things that like, it was like a big like light bulb came off in my head. It was like, oh, what I'm going for, I'm not going to achieve.
That's what Andrew said. Like, you had no idea what I was aiming for.
Right.
I just know where I landed.
Like I'm going for Wilson. I'm not there yet.
No.
You know, it's like that's one of my favorite things. It's like, all right, then it becomes like a, man, like how do I, what am I not seeing? Because it's like, dude, I'm telling you, there's one tattoo from Mike that I've seen like almost every year. I go back and look at it, and every time I see something different. And I'm like, holy shit, why didn't I see that then? I just think it's just like, it's like a matter of perspective. And it's like the same thing with like Mike Bruce is like another good example. It's like, I remember I'd see his pinups. I'm like, God, his pinups are so fucking sick. Like, how the fuck do you like remember how to do these little tricks? Like how you do like the shading coming off of like the ditch of the girl and then like on her palm or whatever. But like, it was like one thing that I noticed. I was like, there's no black shading in some of these pinups, but then he'll put like a giant black circle around it or something like simple like that. It's like, It's so simple. And if you're not smart enough to catch it, you'll catch it eventually later and be like, oh, that's why that was so captivating when you saw it. Because it's like, it's almost like what graphic design artists know to like push out to the public. It's like, it's insane to think about. It's like,
it's something that you don't know you love it.
It has that feel.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Angelo, like I remember, like, dude, like the first guest spot I ever did at Beach Boulevard, this guy came through and he had this like V8 motor, flame, shamrock, like picture Angelo doing like a biker sleeve, and that's what it is. And it's like every color is so dense as it possibly could be. And I looked at him and I was like, oh dang, Angelo did that? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, what'd you get? It was like, y'all still work, like y'all just finished it up. He's like, it's been done for like 10 years. And I was like, I was blown away because I was like, holy fuck, like dude, like this thing looks like saturated as hell. And it's like a floor, it's like this dude is like clearly outside.
Roasted in Florida for 10 years?
Right, yeah. He looks like fucking, he looks like Kramer basted in fucking butter.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Shouts to the legend, Angelo Miller.
Sure. Papa.
I gotta go. It's fucking midnight. I got a long drive.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know it was long. We're over 3 hours. If there's anything you want to tell folks, tell them.
I'm moving from Inksmith over to Revival Tattoo in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Probably around the end of July, early August. So that's about it. That's all I got.
See you then. Tell them how to see your tattoos on the gram.
Right now it's at David Capella _IR. You know, other than that, I might be traveling. If you want to get tattooed, let me know.
Thanks for doing it. Sorry I erased your last one.
Bro, thanks for just having me back on. I'm appreciative of it. I'm honored.
Best of luck in your move and all your endeavors.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
They about commitments, about moving on. What kind of songs do you sing when you're alone? These are the songs that we sing when we're alone. These are the songs that we sing when we're alone. And they're full of trials and tragedies. These are the songs that we sing when we're alone.
No lies, just bullshit.